Of the 20 commissioners in the European Commission, who is your least favorite?
Luxembourg.
Oh, absolutely. That's easy.
Look, you're a small country. Don't get a big fucking head trying to dictate all this like continental policy.
Yo, the current president of the European Commission is Jean-Claude Juncker. That's an awesome name.
Wow.
Jean-Claude Juncker.
Dedicated his life to public service with a name.
You talking about JC Junk?
JC Junk.
He's dropping a rap album pretty soon.
Oh,
gonna be straight out of fire.
Dude, his profile picture on the European Commission website kind of looks like a dude that if you took that still frame and plastered it on like a war site, just put him in the corner, that's a rap album. This dude looks like he's seen some shit.
What is a war site?
A war site, a site of war.
A
site upon which war and conflict have transpired.
I understand.
You could also
like
throw on top of on a rap album.
Yeah,
that right there. Put that right up on a rap album.
Did you know Jean-Claude Juncker is Luxembourgish?
Oh no!
It just keeps going deeper, man.
Luxembourgese?
He's Luxembourgish. Man.
He represents the Commission in G7 and G20 summits.
Damn, dog.
G20 for life.
This guy doesn't have time to sleep.
G-Unit.
Yeah.
But now is he feeling so fly like a G6?
Welcome to the Roundtable Podcast, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a guest today. It's GassyMexican. Hi.
Hello, how are you doing?
Host of Tex-Mex in the Morning with It Me JP, as well as his own YouTube and Twitch channels and all kinds of other amazing things. It's so good to have you, man.
I forget that that's a thing sometimes.
Oh, no.
It's not today, is it?
No, I mean, I'm not recording today, am I? Wait, you guys aren't guests on my show?
I'm very confused.
We're gonna
I thought he was going to record and send it to me.
It's mostly interchangeable. I'm sure we can send you the files and you can make something happen with it. He's going to join us today to talk about some stuff, and for the most part, things haven't changed. It's going to be the Roundtable Podcast, and we're just going to carve like an extra segment into it, and it'll become the Pentagon, and then we'll get sued. Is the Pentagon like a trademarked thing?
Yes.
The Pentagon?
Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah, probably.
I can't call my Twitch channel the Pentagon?
Do you think they have like with most like college towns and stuff like that? Do you think they named like Pentagon Burgers up the street?
Absolutely. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
This is a topic that interests me.
Yeah.
Pentagon restaurants near the Pentagon.
There have to be a few, right? I mean, like they would be fools to not abuse that notoriety.
Oh, it's Arlington, Virginia.
It's in Arlington?
I thought it was in Richmond.
The Pentagon is in Arlington? Wait, what? Okay, hold on.
Virginia?
We all need an educational lesson on the Pentagon.
I'm going to sit here and stare blankly.
In Arlington County, Virginia.
I freaking told you.
It has Google reviews. Oh my God, this is the whole show.
The Pentagon has Google reviews? It's got a Yelp score.
2-star review from Michelle last week. I'm scared there's going to be war. In all caps, I hate war. They're just gonna be fighting. That means death. You freaking knows kids have a long way to go. Like me, I'm 8. If I die, I just want to say bye to my friends and family and who is fighting for USA. This is all one sentence. Fight with love and peace. Amen. And God protect me because I'm going to be 9 in a few months. So when war ends, I'm going to be 14.
Holy
what the hell?
Christ.
We need to go back to video games.
I feel like there's probably a whole community that just trolls the shit out of Pentagon reviews.
Yeah.
Actually, I like this one a lot more. It's from a month ago. It's 4 stars and it just says amazing.
Perfect.
There's a Burger King in the Pentagon.
There are apparently no like Pentagon delis that I can see.
That's amazing.
Lots of like Tex-Mex, but it's all called like, El Paso Tex-Mex or like Taste of India. There's no...
Yeah.
I would totally open Pentagon Burger with you.
Pentagon Burgers, yeah.
All right, well...
5 sides, burgers, and fries.
Oh. I don't think you'll get in trouble for that. That's pretty
5 sides.
far gone.
It's so perfect.
5 sides.
Oh, the 85th best restaurant in the Pentagon area? Costco Warehouse Food Court.
85th?
Really on this Costco payroll.
They're
lately,
still
seems like.
They're still selling a hot dog and drink for $1.50, man.
It's one ahead of Chili's Grill and Bar.
That's
Is that
ridiculous.
I think that's the real Chili's.
Did you say a hot dog for $1.50?
I did say a hot dog and a drink for $1.50.
That is a deal.
That's a screaming deal. All right. Anyway, the topic for today, we're going to be talking about Rocket League a lot because we all like it, and we want to talk about like the competitive aspects of Rocket League, the potential for it to become something more in the future, as well as just esports in general, which has become an even more interesting topic, and the future of that is going to be a fun conversation. Also, the European Commission is looking to eliminate regional pricing on video games. So that is too complicated. So we're not going to talk about it. No, we are going to talk about it. And a couple other things. We got Don't Starve, we got Terraria, all kinds of fun stuff coming up on today's show, as well as Ask Roundtable, Next Word Games, all the wonderful things you've come to know and love from your friends here at the Shape That Changes Every Week podcast.
Yo, what if I told you that a circle can add an infinite number of points on its circumference and it can still be a circle?
And smack you around, call you a liar.
All right, you got me. We'll stop with those lies.
Oh, I guess Ryan is now occupying 2 slots on the podcast.
Yeah, doppelganger.
Oh, whoa, where did I come from?
That's such a great placeholder. I guess he had to go run and take care of something. But
My God, that's Northern Lions music.
Guys, I've never seen hail before, and it's hailing.
It's hailing for you.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You know, man, I moved out of the area I've lived in for a good part of my life, and a month after I moved from there, it flooded for the first time in years. Like there was an actual flooding of the streets. It was kind of crazy.
You should move to California.
And then make Seattle flood?
Well, okay, you should move to California and then away from California.
The area is immediately destroyed and ravaged.
You see, the joke is that California's in a drought right now. It's draining the aquifers of the nation, and pretty soon there might be a cataclysmic Mad Max-esque tragedy.
I really wish I had a morning radio soundboard to play along with that one. Well, hey, we got California in a drought right now. Oh, that's pretty crazy.
I like the version of Northern Line that makes silly voices, not so much the quiet one.
Yeah,
I think you should have more of that guy on.
This is like the 2 parts of my psyche on display right now. Max right now is me when Mathis is talking about Elite Dangerous when we're supposed to be talking about No Man's Sky.
You're really on that train, man. Or I should say on that space fighter out in the middle of nowhere.
Don't talk about it like
that can now potentially land on planets. OMG, man.
I don't ever talk about it.
You talk about it before every show. You're like, guys, we should talk about Elite Dangerous again.
Only for what the fuck? We talking about Gamescom and shit that was announced at Gamescom.
What are we even talking about at all?
Nah, we're just killing time.
Remember, this is 2 weeks late. Gamescom's over at this point.
Those pajama pants,
nice.
though.
That's cute. That's cute. I like the little tap.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Oh yeah. What? No, I was Northern Line. He's here as well. He's got a twin brother.
Yeah.
Very good at staring contests and keeping a straight face.
Mm-hmm.
Southern.
Did he hold it down?
Oh,
he did pretty well.
Pretty good.
We had a great conversation with him.
We played off it.
Yeah. we played off it.
Stoic clone Northern Line is surprisingly much more interesting than the real thing.
Yeah, I don't even have to be here anymore. You saved me a lot of work.
Which is the real thing?
Nah, I don't know anymore.
I don't know. What?
Whoa!
Try to mimic that exact face, if you could.
But it was like, as I was just talking and then I froze my webcam, so it would be like...
Your eyes are closed.
Your eyes got to be downwards and squinted. Now you just
That's pretty good.
Honestly, the cue for it, I guess, is just look possessed. It looks like you're having a seizure.
God damn it!
It's not easy.
Game Informer has received word from Rocket League developers. They've gotten the list, the 12 best Rocket League players in the game at the moment.
Kronovi is on there.
Kronovi is not on the list.
What?
I don't know why. I'm actually pretty
not
sure
real. That's not a real. That makes me question the legitimacy of the list.
They acknowledge, prefacing the list, that Kronovi is considered the best in the world. So this must just be the top 12 besides Kronovi. I'm guessing is what they're doing.
What? Why?
That makes no sense.
It's like, let's do some power rankings. We're going to leave off number 1 because everyone knows.
A surprise entry, though. Rockley Smile, number 2 overall in the world.
Oh, thanks.
Shit.
Thanks for that.
They've got AFN 1910, Cool Cole 93. You know Cool Cole. He's doing well up there in the leaderboards. Dig Dog, Doomsea, For Show Kid. He's actually put up some pretty sweet montages and such. You got Gibbs and Sad Jr., Kronovi's teammates. All these players that nobody knows, but they're all amazing. But
we know Kronovi's number one.
So we know Kronovi.
Kronovi's number one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
that works.
What I'm excited about is the fact that there are 12 of them. That's the fact that makes me giddy, because that means that there are soon going to be people and teams that can compete with Kronovi and the Cosmic Aftershock. And if you don't know any of the things I'm saying or talking about here, let us try to bring you up to speed, because this is the foundation. This is the point at which we're trying to instill just the love of competitive Rocket League for everybody. I think we all want to see Rocket League become the next big esport.
Yeah, agree.
It'll be there.
Definitely would agree.
It'll be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it doesn't actually become, at least even just something of an esport, like more than just like, here's $75, for this online, whatever, I'd be very surprised, because everything's there for it. It's popular. It is really entertaining to watch. That's the biggest thing too. It's like, it's actually really, really entertaining to watch. And just like actual soccer and things like that, like football, whatever, it's very easy to pick up and watch and understand, especially since like the rules of soccer are kind of already baked in. So people already are familiar with it. And
which has a big international draw, of course, too. It's just inherently
exactly.
based on that.
Yeah. It has the whole national draw and stuff like that. They already have like flags for each country, or not. I don't know if they have every country, but
they're adding like 50 more in the
most of the main ones. You don't have to worry about the other ones.
Most of the main countries.
The main countries that matter.
The important ones are there.
They got the right ones on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every single other country. See, I have no idea who they left out, so this is problematic for me and my public.
They definitely did not have a Nepalese flag when I looked.
Oh, that's an oversight.
That was my sarcastic voice, but I checked.
Wow.
Huh.
Oh.
Because it's the flag that has it's like a triangle and then another triangle.
What they do have is the flag of Wales,
flag.
my country of origin. So I'm really happy about that.
Huh.
That's not true.
Does any flag, just this is derailing completely, but
I'm
does
so
any
ready.
flag in the, I was going to say the country, but does any flag in the world have 5 sides? Does it have a pentagon on it?
Oh, no.
I feel like if not, that's a wasted shape that they could use.
I don't think so, but there is a country in Asia that has like a pentagon on its flag. But it's not a pentagonal flag, so to speak.
The Pentagon is just underused in general. I really wish they would take more.
That's what I was asking, if they had it on the flag. So I guess the answer would be yes, somewhere.
I would like to see some non-traditional, non-rectangular flags. Like if we could start getting pentagonal flags, that might be a whole new template that we could start to build off of.
Very true.
Why do we all conform to the same shape?
Why do we got to be rectangles, man?
You guys talk amongst yourselves. I just Googled Asian flags, so...
Okay.
You're
like, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be
level.
them. Oh, God, I just said them.
Oh,
wow.
It's
all
over.
right. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of, but I can't remember. It's like, I think it's the Hong Kong flag. It's not a pentagon. It's like a flower. It's pretty close.
Those are basically the same shape.
A lot of sides.
It's pentagonal.
The thing about these $75 tournaments is you see the top players in these tournaments, like Kronovi in particular, of course, because he's the biggest name that we all know of at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's drawing in 3,000 to 4,000 people. A guy that before Rocket League came out, I actually had the off chance of discovering him before his channel started to blow up and gain a whole lot of traction.
You a Kronovi hipster?
Yeah.
What an elitist.
I was watching Kronovi before it was cool.
It was popular.
Mm-hmm. Kronovi's a personal friend of mine. We used to go out on, little bro dates. He was drawing in like, tens of viewers. He had like a few hundred followers. The dude is now like insanely popular.
Blowing up.
He's garnered a massive following, 3,000 to 4,000 viewers for $75 tournaments. I mean, it's so clear that the foundation is there for somebody to capitalize on.
75 euro tournaments?
Nah.
What is it? So how does that translate?
It's like $110.
I was gonna say it's a little bit more, right?
It's not the main currency, so that's not.
The euro's strong.
To me.
So I think that the thing with Rocket League is that it's kind of in this weird position where it can't take off until spectator mode exists, because it doesn't make sense how you would run the tournaments right now. Like you can't really do an online tournament with casters because there's no spectator mode. So you just have to rely on the people in the tournament to stream it, which is cool, but it loses some of that, like, you know, extra prestige that, like, CSGO or Dota 2 or League of Legends tournaments have.
Yeah.
But when spectator mode actually comes out, they can do LANs, they can do online tournaments, and I hope that there's organizations that are like, as soon as spectator mode comes out, we're going to, like, organize a LAN to be done in, like, 6 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Somewhere,
it's going to take something like that. Somebody to just step up and be like, all right, we're going to do it properly and show them what it can be.
We're going to throw down 10 grand or something like that. And we're going to fly out like 4 teams or 8 teams or something like that have done well in the qualifiers that they've done so far. You know, just pick and choose them in an invitational basis or something. And that's all it's going to take, I think, for it to really blow up.
Have they announced a spectator mode officially?
Absolutely, yeah.
They said it was coming in, like, I thought it was supposed to come in this patch, but they said it's like it's next.
Yeah, I thought it was coming in the next update that they have with, like, the new free DLC or map or whatever. Is that free? The map's free, right?
The map is free.
There are extra, like, hats and
2
vehicles,
cars,
I think, that they're charging for.
Yeah.
I think it's $4 for the entire DLC, though. So I mean, you know,
tell you something that's
for the boost alone.
Tell you some little inside secret here. Birdie tells me there's going to be a part of free update. It's going to feature a flag from your old GassyMexican here.
Oh, really?
Oh shit!
What? How did he do that?
Who was that?
That's weird.
Yeah, there's going to be like it's actually the thing that's on my shirt. This.
Oh my goodness,
nice.
that's awesome.
Little sombrero guy, which is like my community.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
Changing the subject. Did you make a conscious decision to wear your own shirt, knowing you'd be on camera?
I did not. This is the shirt that I wore yesterday.
He wasn't sure
You
we
can
were going
check
to be
my
on
VOD.
camera
I
today.
streamed last night. I was playing Rocket League. I was wearing this exact outfit. This shirt and these zebra pink pants.
I would honestly prefer a flag of those zebra pink striped pajama pants.
Yeah.
They're
If I
called
could get
Zubaz
those.
pants. Does anyone remember those?
No.
Baz.
Okay, they were big in the 90s. A lot of football players were wearing them. Like it's I don't know. Look at them. Zubaz pants. Look them up.
Here I am.
Google them up. And they're very comfy. Very baggy, but very comfy.
Talk amongst yourselves. You're going to look up Zubaz pants? Something along those lines?
I'm already here.
I have a quick question about Rocket League for you guys who are into it.
Yeah.
Not about my pants.
Not about your pants, about Rocket League, I know.
Okay.
Back on track. So Rocket League, out of curiosity, unless it's like you streaming, Max, or a popular streamer like JP or Krakovi, is there a high...
Kokovi?
Whatever his name is.
How dare you,
That guy.
sir?
Krakarov.
Krakarov. The Kraken. What is the average viewership of Rocket League? Is it high?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so it's definitely one of the games where the bigger streamers do very well on it, while the middle to low people are kind of suffering as a result of it, because there's the overkill of it being a very popular game that the very popular streamers do very well in. I mean, that's just kind of a pattern for
just
a lot of
because
these
looking
games.
at, like, as far as like esports are concerned, you'll always see Hearthstone really high, Counter-Strike really high. Can't really count League of Legends because that's been #1 for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Kronovi fallacy there. We can't count #1.
It's Kokovakovich. Sorry,
League of
if
Legends
you don't mind.
always has hundreds of thousands of people watching. But I'm curious if Rocket League is up there regularly without like the big names. Because I think that'll be something that a lot of the investors, the people who are going to be sponsoring these tournaments, are going to look at. Are the numbers there regularly, or does it require these 1, 2, or 3 people to be playing the game for it to be popular?
Do you think when we say investors,
I'd
I
say
always picture, like, again, don't judge me here, but just like Asian men in business suits and American men in business suits. No women because I'm sexist.
Just Asian and American men.
No, I'm just saying, like, are you talking about people that would even understand the Twitch community, or are you talking about people like that are in the Twitch community that would be looking at that kind of stuff and have money
people
to
that would be
sponsor?
forking over a majority of the money, put it that way.
Okay, so you're talking like probably brands that are relevant to
Like
gaming,
Alienware,
your
Razer,
Logitech, your
those
Alienware.
people.
Yeah. People that are, you seen people sponsor Dota and StarCraft 2 and whatnot. Are they going to be looking for that thing? I've been out of like the professional esports scene for like 3 or 4 years, and that was a big thing back then. But that
you
was
were never in it.
I know. Some would say I was never actually a StarCraft
Don't
caster.
you get it?
But that was back when StarCraft was always at the like #3 spot, and StarCraft's kind of away a long time ago. So I'm curious if that's something they're going to be looking at.
Would it really be different from any of the others, though? Like, if I streamed Dota 2 right now, nobody would watch me stream it. You got to be in the world before people start to take notice.
I don't know if Rocket League has the sort of, with Dota 2, with Counter-Strike, with even like Magic the Gathering, things like this, they all have a uniqueness to them that makes it kind of difficult for new people to approach. And that's kind of what we were alluding to earlier, is the fact that Rocket League is very accessible. It's pretty easy when you pop open a Rocket League stream to see that and think, oh, the orange team is trying to score it in the orange goal.
Right.
And that gets them a point. Whereas with Dota 2 or StarCraft, you see and hear people talking about a Baneling rush and there's bases being built.
So say Counter-Strike then. People get Counter-Strike. It's the same thing. Kill the other team.
Yeah.
Capture the goal, right?
It's kind of like it makes no sense to check it right now because the international's going on.
There's no point in looking at Dota 2.
Like this is not a normal situation, but Rocket League is like 20th on Twitch right now. But it's got 4,000 viewers, but it fluctuates so highly. Like one streamer playing it could double that, and if you double that, that puts it within the top 10. Like if it has 8,000 viewers, that puts it pretty much within the top 10.
The thing is, too, I think Twitch is still at a point where, I mean, the fact that that alone has so much sway on like the top 5 games that are being broadcast on Twitch is kind of indicative of how Twitch is still kind of malleable in that sense. It's not really like solidified as these are our top games. It's like, these are our top games normally, but sometimes they completely change out of nowhere.
A big streamer can put themselves, like, 5th.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
like right now, Lyric is playing Arma 3. So it goes like Dota 2, there's like an $18 million tournament happening right now. League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Hearthstone, and then Arma 3 with 38,000 viewers. Lyric has 35,000 of them. So, like, I don't think it's necessarily an indication of, like, how popular the game is. That it's low. If he was playing Rocket League instead, Rocket League would be 5th, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's super popular. What I look for instead of like Twitch viewers would be like concurrent players. And it's consistently still, even like, well, we're like a month after release almost, it's got like 50, 60,000 players online most of the time.
It's remained pretty stable with how many people are playing.
Yeah,
for sure. You can see the momentum. You could feel the buzz. People are talking about it constantly. I think it's definitely got all the right stuff to really go somewhere pretty big.
Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't. And then, don't get me wrong. I think Rocket League has potential to go really, really far. One of the things I think it's going to need to happen is I would love to see Rocket League do something along the lines of, say, what Dota and StarCraft and League of Legends do, where in the in-game launcher, there's like a little window that says, tournament happening now. You can watch it here and jump into the tournament, because that's what got Dota really popular on Twitch. Was even in its beta phase, you could watch a tournament right out of the launcher instantly, easily. And if Rocket League wants to turn the players into viewers, which is going to be very important for an esports-like situation, you got to turn those people who are playing it into viewers. You have to. So to have that right there is going to be, I think, a pretty important step for them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I don't want to be too optimistic about it, but I do have good feelings about Psyonix in general, just based on what they've done with their user interface so far, built within the game specifically, like you were talking about. Like, they've done things that I didn't know I wanted in this game as far as the user interface goes. Like, they allow you to jump into the matchmaking queue and then back out and train while you're searching. I mean, like, that's probably been done a lot before, but that's just, like, particularly noteworthy. And for a developer to do that, it makes me think that they are looking at opportunities like that to say, okay, now we know where our audience is, we know where our markets are. Let's target those and try to, like, you know, get synchronicity between them, much like the way you're discussing. So I think they are probably going to be on the ball as far as that's concerned. And on top of that, it might even be a little bit of a blessing in disguise that they don't have a spectator mode yet, too. Because I'm realizing now the competitive aspect is kind of being overshadowed a bit by the fact that there are 3 players that are just clearly leagues better than pretty much everybody else. They have competition, but it's very unlikely that they lose. So I think the fact that everybody's getting like a month to catch up and be much, much better than any of us, unfortunately, it's a negative side effect, is that I suck now compared to everybody else that plays the game. But it's nice that there's some time now for the competition to catch up, more or less.
And if it does become like a pretty competitive esport, you're going to see like esports teams complexity, e.g., et cetera, maybe start funding little teams, whether they be... The question is, too, what's going to take off more? 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. And then once those guys have, you know, actual funding, you're going to see Like they play 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then it's just going to be you're going to have like what StarCraft has, like the grandmasters who are really good at the game, and then you have the professional players who are even above that. And I'd be curious to see what kind of skill is going to be pulled from that if Rocket League gets to the point where they're getting that massive funding.
Yeah.
Here's a question too. Are we going to train? Are we going to get a team together and become?
We need to wait
esports?
for the 5v5 or 5v5 ladder.
You guys will you'll be that once a week €75 winners.
Some people know who we are already, but like we're not esports famous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the
we're
problem.
not like we
Yeah.
don't step into a PAX and people are all just like Russian. You know.
Right.
All of a sudden, everybody turns into Russians. Like that would be awesome.
Like Korovnikov, like that guy.
Yes.
That was really good
That's
at the
right.
game.
Max,
Here now.
you I think have probably the most experience out of all of us playing the game.
I have 90. Actually, I want to check what it is now. It's over 90 hours.
Oh man, actually, I think Ryan might have you beat then.
Really?
Yeah, but
well, actually, he might have me
better
beat now
than
at this
me,
point
so-
because I kind of dropped off for a little bit. I'm 97 hours in.
All right. I have 127.
Oh, damn. I
This
wasn't
guy.
expecting that.
Yeah.
Coming
Interesting.
out of left field here, shit.
Interesting.
What is,
Apparently-
okay, what's everybody sitting at? We got
1v1 me. We'll see what happens.
1v1
I'll probably lose.
I do think you're better. I just think I left it on for 30 hours one
You
night.
did hit up. You got that veteran. You got that veteran tag though.
How'd
Nice.
this
I
kid
did.
get to be a veteran?
Yeah, how did this
Oh
kid-
my god.
I have 35 hours.
Oh
Doesn't
my
feel like
God.
anything. Oh, I know. I'm
Dude.
pathetic.
That's only like 7 hours a week.
What
Nick.
have you been spending your time on?
Terraria.
Oh, okay. That's understandable.
20
I'm not gonna lie.
28
I'm
hours,
gonna log in more hours. Next time I talk to you, it's gonna be like, hey, when are you at? 200 hours.
I'll just leave it idling until the next roundtable, and I'll be the best at all of you.
That's
Yeah.
all it takes. I mean, people think you have to actually play the game. No,
Nope.
just leave it running.
Just leave
you,
it on.
You get better. It's the way it
true.
works.
I can't help but feel some of these achievements are bugged. I apparently have never won a 1v1 game. I know for a fact that is
We did a little tournament, and yeah, you did that.
Custom games don't count, man.
Mm.
Private matches
drive a
ain't-
total
ain't
of
shit.
500 kilometers. How am I supposed to know? There's no scale. I need to see like a banana.
How
or
big are
something.
the cars? If the
Yeah.
soccer ball is a normal size,
If the car is like a nanometer, 500 kilometers is going to take like 10 lifetimes to drive.
So are they supposed to be actually like just RC cars with nobody in them? Is that what they
Who
are?
knows?
The
And they're not
spectators
that-
are balloons, man, so it's hard
Psyonix
to say.
knows.
I've theorized that the cars themselves are actually sentient, and whenever they die, they feel it, and it's horrifying. But they're
Oh, it's like
immediately
the
replaced
Prestige.
by a clone of themselves.
It's like the movie Cars, like that. It's one of those things.
yeah, it's exactly
A little
the
more
plot of
adult though.
Cars.
They don't have like the little cutesy faces on the front. It's
Right.
like, all business.
It's horrifying, honestly, when you think about it that way. This is just a spectator sport a la the Roman Colosseum.
Does this unit have a soul?
It could be a VR simulation of a spectator sport of a Roman Coliseum.
Oh man, 3 levels deep.
I'm not gonna lie. If
League
they,
combined with like Death Race would be a great concept for a film. You could just make Death Race 3 about like car soccer.
Dude, what if Rocket League was a death racer?
I don't even understand what that means.
Is that
I
a
don't know what
genre?
means.
That's the Mad Max game coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Mad
Speaking of
Max.
which, Gamescom.
Gamescom.
Oh, Gamescom. Yeah.
Gamescom is a thing.
I got really upset because somebody that I know is there right now, and he's having like a German dinner, I guess. Yeah, it would be dinner. And it looks so good. It's just like potatoes and meat and just like a fried egg on top, and I'm like, what the hell?
Is that what makes
when
it
you said
German?
dinner. You meant an Eatenspiel. Okay.
I meant an
I understand.
Eatenspiel.
An
Yes.
eat and play.
Oh my god, I actually learned the word
Essenspiel.
for dinner in German.
Eatenspiel.
It's oh no, I don't think I'm gonna remember it. This was my moment, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
For my fucking like 3 weeks of hardcore Duolingo training, this was the time to shine, and I fucking missed it.
What is eat in German?
What
Essen.
is
Essen.
Essen? Yeah, it's Essen.
Essen.
Dinner in German.
What is dinner in German? Sausage.
Abendessen.
Oh, that's just racist.
It means night eat.
It does?
Yeah.
Abendessen. I learned it.
It sounds
Abendessen.
Abendessen
like-
is the #2 ranked player in Rocket League, actually.
Right, I thought it was right. Yeah, no, the dinner sounded like the dinner we had in Sweden, except that fried egg changed everything.
Yeah. There was
That's
a
what makes it
lot
German.
of just a lot of different variety of meats in Sweden, and I just want to go visit other like European countries now. That's all I want to do. Like I've always wanted to do that, and Sweden was kind of the beginning of that doesn't really matter because this is not talking about Gamescom at all.
Gamescom is in
I just
Europe.
want to travel the world.
Black Ops 3 screenshots from Gamescom. I just got the email.
What? No way.
Oh shit!
Who saw that
Probably
coming?
got guns and dead dudes. Is my guess.
Damn, I bet you it's gonna have a zombie mode.
Wait, can you confirm? Can you open the screenshots and tell us if there really are dead dudes and guns?
I'm looking right now.
Y'all-
That's a guy's face. He's got crystal blue eyes.
Whoa.
Yummy.
Wow. That's just no dead dudes. No dead dudes.
Bunch of cynics, man. I bet if they
dead
announced
dudes.
a new game that was like, you can fly in a spaceship and trade spice with other galaxies, you'd be like,
I'd
oh,
be
you
so
can't
excited.
have enough of those.
You
Big
only
question,
trade
can you land on
spices.
planets?
So no dead dudes, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I've heard this new Black Ops is supposed to be different than the Call of Duties before it.
How so?
I'm just bullshitting because that's what they say every single time.
I know.
No, but and people too, like in the COD community too, like, yeah, I had some time with it. It's COD, but it's a little different than before. Like that would be
It's
a
just-
new game. That's a new game. That is the same description of any new game that comes out.
You know what they call that is cognitive dissonance.
Oh,
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
I can get
Come
into
on,
that.
come on.
All right.
No, I give you that
Give me
one.
a
That was like
smile.
the more upset I get about a pun, the better it is.
Oh, good.
hi-oh.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Gamescom is going down. Xbox has actually come forward with some good news. Is the fact that backwards compatibility is definitely going in full swing, and all games with gold titles up to this point will be backwards compatible. So that's fun. Hopefully, they continue to expand that catalog. I don't know how optimistic
Do we know
I
how
want to
many
get
there
about
are?
it. There's well, I mean, there were 2
Was it
games
20?
a month up to this point, so that's at least like 8 to 10.
Didn't they announce like 27? I'll take a look.
Yeah, there was an initial list that wasn't. It was very underwhelming, and then
It was a bunch of rare games from that, the box.
Yeah,
it's just the
of
rare
many
replay games. Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well just make those
And
backwards
Super Meat
compatible
Boy.
while they're at it. Super Meat
game-
Boy been on there.
You know, a game, it's not backwards compatible from Xbox One to 360, but I'm talking from 360 to Xbox that blew my mind that I didn't think would be.
What?
Crimson Skies is backwards compatible with your 360, in case you
Wow.
didn't know.
Oh,
Who
Got a
do
big
we have?
following, that game.
What game do we have to buy to get a Crimson Skies?
A new Crimson Skies, right? That needs to happen. You don't even have to I wouldn't think it would be good, like actually shipping as a physical game. Probably just our Xbox Live Arcade kind of deal.
You can buy Just Cause 3 on Xbox One and get backward compatible Just Cause 2.
What? What
Screaming
if?
You gotta
Leo.
buy games to get other games backward compatibility.
What if they made a mode in Crimson Skies, the new Crimson Skies, that was like Rocket League, but in a 3-dimensional arena?
I knew you were going to say it. I knew
Stop.
it.
it.
Rocket League might not have a ceiling.
That doesn't make sense because most of those planes are propeller based, and it would fuck up the ball and the propellers.
It's the future.
It's the they've accounted for that.
Yeah. That's
They've
what
got
they're
a ball
built for.
propeller.
Well, they use the
preventative
Batman
measures.
technology and they tase it away before it hits the propeller.
The plane has a big glove on the front of it that just like you can push a button and it goes forward like an old timey like crank.
Yeah, just like that.
all right. FMK, ready?
All right, yes, I'm familiar with this acronym.
Dark Souls 3,
Yeah,
Fallout 4,
yeah.
Halo 5 Guardians.
Well, the K
All right,
is
let's-
easy.
Yeah, let's kill
Is the
Halo.
K that easy? Guardians just knocked out right out of the gate, huh?
It's over.
It's
Moving on.
over. Okay.
Oh, it's fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
you like full
Took
metal
me a second. Took me a second, guys.
Spieler.
Which
You want
German
to know what
meal is
actually
that?
went? You want to know what nonsense went through my head, even though I knew it wasn't.
I
Like
really
they-
do.
It's Full Metal Chronovi. That's what I. That's what,
I think I
Makes
would
no
fuck
sense.
Dark Souls because it's fucked me so many times.
Oh man, I like that. I like
I
that
would
logic.
marry Fallout because we're gonna have a long time together.
Yeah.
yeah, Marry Fallout probably. I
That's
think
actually
is
that's the
most-
smartest way to
Man,
go.
I think I just set up like maybe the easiest fuck Mary kill.
That's
I could've
actually
done.
pretty easy. Yeah.
Shoot Toby twice.
I understand that reference.
City Skylines is making its console debut on the Xbox One.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Did you ever play City Skylines, Max?
Yeah, I did. I played.
Oh, yeah,
you
you
know
played it.
this.
I
You
know you
know
played-
this.
I know
We
you
talked
played it.
about Sweden.
He
No,
just
I
set
know
it
you
up
in
for a
Sweden.
discussion.
Sweden. I know you played in Sweden, but did you play it at home?
Yeah, I did. I mean, not as much as I wanted to. Sorry, there's a hair on my mic. Not as much as I wanted to. I think I streamed it maybe a total of like a couple times, and I meant to stream it a lot more. I kind of like missed the hype on it. Although I don't care. I'll probably stream it eventually again when I'm like, oh, you remember it was a good game? City Skylines. Pretty good.
Don't play that right now.
Yeah, no, that was a solid game. I mean, I knew it was going to be one of those games that, like most, have that like spike. You're looking at a graph, and then that just on Twitch, from people streaming it because it's the newest thing.
Right.
But I kind of knew it was going to be popular on Twitch. You could say I was like a City Skylines hipster before. We were in Sweden playing it before it was actually released. You were there too, Mathis. Remember that?
That's true. I was.
Shared breakfast.
Fond memories.
Yeah.
Interesting Gamescom announcement. Xbox One will become a TV DVR next year.
What does that even mean?
That means something like a DVR device you would use to record programming on cable television.
They're going to use your Xbox for that?
You can use your Xbox for that now.
I don't like that because it's going to take up my storage space. Why the fuck would I want that?
That's true. And the Xbox One is not known for its amazing storage space.
I can curse on this show, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All the fucking time.
It occurred to me.
It's okay. I just said I'd fuck Dark Souls.
He did say, he fucked Dark Souls all over the place.
No, that's the thing. Like I wasn't paying attention too much because it's just normal speak.
We have an FCC limit of 3 F-bombs per show, so we gotta really take
that was
them
it
out.
right there.
I have a question that may make me seem ignorant.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Can we swear on the show? No, it's
Wow.
we just got cable for the first time like 2 months ago, and our cable box has a DVR in it. So I'm like, why would I don't need two DVR. I don't even need one DVR.
Well, do you need cable first of all?
Probably not, but
No, not
I
really.
like having it. Like,
What do you like about it? This is I always like hearing the different answers that people say.
so for me, it's that my TV is not in my office, and I spend all day in this office. So if I
Right.
want to like go out and like work on programming or something like that, I'm like, I can put on like Seinfeld syndication or something like
Right.
that, which I could obviously do without that, but I'm lazy.
Yeah, and you don't have to have any. You just throw it on. It's just there.
Exactly. It basically is just to distract me so I don't get as bored as easily.
Yeah.
And like I stay motivated. And sports, and I don't have to deal with like, hockeystreams.ru. And
Yeah. That's kind of why I got it when I did have it. I don't have it right now because it's not convenient for me to hook it up. Because this is like a house that doesn't have coax apparently built into the walls very much. So
pretty wild.
That seems insane.
it was remodeled, and it was like a flip. You know what I mean? So it was like an older house,
Okay.
and they just didn't even really bother. So
Did
like,
you just have to get
okay.
like a dedicated line in for the internet then?
Yeah, they had to like drill in a new line from outside.
Wow.
I think I was lucky though because it was just like perfectly where he drilled it in. He was like, yeah, I can put it in the closet over here and then out into your like behind your couch where nothing's going on. So I have it that way. But you guys don't need to know the inner workings of my
Oh no,
coax.
No,
This is an
keep
important
going.
segment.
I am not sketching the inner workings of your house right now or anything.
Okay, right. There's a closet right there. You're gonna know that the closet in his living room is where the coax lines are going in. Okay,
Right.
got it.
Get in there.
Any way we can kill a minute and a half, man, I'll happily take it.
yeah, we're 40% of the way done already.
Yeah.
But-
But yeah, like
does every cable box not have a DVR at this point, or
I don't think mine does.
I think they all kind of do. They might still have bare bones cable boxes, but like the cost of having one that has DVRs and like just the normal ones probably like very minuscule now. I would imagine. At
It's
this
like
point.
it's like 15 years ago not buying a DVD player that also was a VCR combo.
Yeah,
This is basically the same.
those are
thing.
hot.
Yeah,
Those are great.
hot commodity. I can
they
find
also-
those at like Goodwill for $1, and I want to buy 50 of them, and I want to make a throne, and then I'm going to take a picture of myself in it, and I'm going to cherish that.
Do you guys remember the? I mean, first there was the TVs that had the built-in VHS ones, which, by the way, I used all the time on road trips when I was a kid.
Mhm.
I'd hook up my Xbox to it, and then you didn't even have to have a VHS player with you, so that saved on space under the car seat. And pop in your VHS, watch a little bit of Jumanji or something, whatever I was watching at the time. And then it went to DVD TVs, where it upgraded. Where I used to have like an old white one that had the VHS thing right below it, and then it upgraded to a silver one that had a DVD thing built into it.
Silver is the color of the future.
Silver is the color of the future.
Silver and
In case
chrome,
you guys
man.
didn't know.
Why
If
don't
you
we
guys
have
start getting
gold
gray
and
hairs, don't worry. That just means
in
you're being
the
you're being futurized. It's a word.
Back when I played a lot of Halo 2, although not as much as Bear, probably. I had a friend who played a lot of Halo 2, and he played on one of those TVs with the VHS attached to it. and he actually recorded like himself playing on VHS tapes.
Nice.
So I have to imagine that still, even to this day, he has like 100 VHS tapes of his Halo 2 games.
That's awesome.
That is like the super old school way. I mean, like even back to Halo 1, they would have people that would hook up these capture cards that were the most ridiculous devices you've ever seen. It's like VHS going to RCA cables connecting out of the Xbox that you had to double connect to go to the display.
Origin of Let's Play, man. This is
Yeah,
where it all
I'm
started.
gonna drop some relatability and knowledge. Ready?
Yeah.
I got my start from doing YouTube or anything like that from doing like Halo 2 glitch videos.
Yes.
And then I went into Halo 2 machinima, just like actually trying to make real movies into it. And the way I recorded, because I didn't have an actual capture card, was a DVD burner like recorder.
Yeah.
So that was, the RC, the RC cables over RCA, right?
Yeah.
RCA cables went into the front port, so that was like the in. Hooked up my Xbox and it went into there, and I had to have blank DVDs that went into the DVD recorder. I recorded it, and it kind of like saved it into like its whatever internal memory, and then when I was ready, I would burn it onto the DVD, take it off the DVD, put it in my computer, and then extract my files off of that.
Easy.
But easy mode.
Easy, yeah.
It's fine. And I remember when that thing broke, like it was fucking up. I had to learn how to fix it because I couldn't afford, any sort of like Dazzle or whatever the fuck, because those were still pretty expensive back then. So I didn't bother putting the top back on. Oh God. I didn't bother putting the top back on because I was like, well, I'm probably going to have to end up fixing it again. And it was such a bitch to open it up the first place. So I just recorded with this really ghetto looking, like, it looked like a computer, like that was just had its parts, no actual case, just like that.
Right.
And that's how I recorded.
That is.
It was really frustrating too, because I'm like, hold on, guys, hold on. Like I had like people set up for like a machinima. I'm like, yeah, I know you guys are waiting, but it's doing the buffering thing. I gotta wait. Hold on a second. Okay, we're clear. Now we can go. That's how I started.
You only got one take, right? Otherwise, you'd have to rewind and reset everything.
Well, there would be multiple takes, but you had to be very careful about like when you stopped recording. There was like a happy medium and balance between like, okay, we'll leave it rolling. But then you had to realize, like, all right, we fucked up this many times.
Yeah.
I should probably just erase this. So stop, and then
do it again.
It was very impractical, but it worked.
So, okay, this tangent is now just like, I'm going to have to recover this once I go down this road because it's just completely far gone from whatever topic we were on 20 minutes ago. But
yeah,
this is like relevant to that. Like, I remember recording on VHS tapes for projects that we were doing like 8th or 9th grade.
God, yes.
I had a friend that we made a video with, and then we went to the effort and trouble of recording a fake blooper reel at the end of our video project submissions.
Liar was
fake.
We faked bloopers because we wanted to make people laugh.
That was the thing, right? Yeah.
That was like my inspiration to just go into this whole not funny, non-comedy podcast thing that we got going on. But I recorded a fake blooper reel in 9th grade. Yeah, video games are fun too.
Is that because you guys were too good at acting that you guys?
We were flawless. It was impeccable. Like every shot nailed it first take. It was really great.
I had real blooper reels on my high school project.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's actually still on the YouTube somewhere.
You have high school blooper reels up on YouTube?
I forgot about it, but it is on YouTube somewhere, and I just remember probably the search terms to find it. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Come on.
Because this is like really, first of all, I had like a buzzed haircut.
Nice.
And I was actually, I look not older. I definitely look younger, but I was more jacked back then. I was muscular. I'm not going to show you that.
The internet's going to find him.
Give us one keyword and let's send people on a scavenger hunt.
Oh, God. What would be the keyword?
Just one. Just one.
ISIS.
No, the word conform is in it.
Okay.
That's all you're getting. It's not going to be enough.
I believe in people.
Yeah.
I think somebody can find that.
Someone's going to type in conform GassyMexican. It's not going to.
I know, right? You were known as GassyMexican before.
It's not going to yield shit because I wasn't known as shit back then. Just my name.
The European Commission.
Oh, you talking about JC Jenkins again?
I'm talking about JC Junker, motherfucker.
Junker.
JC Junker.
I got him. I morphed him with the main character of Deus Ex. in my head.
That's fair. That's often a comparison he has to deal with.
Denton and yeah, all right.
Jean-Claude Juncker, president of the European Commission, and the entire organization is pushing to remove regional pricing from video games. So, if you're not familiar, here's an example. A game is listed on Steam for $20 US. Same game is listed on Steam for 20 euros as well, which, of course, is not the same price, which means that the folks using that currency and purchasing in those regions kind of get boned, which sucks. So, naturally, the European Commission is pushing to get rid of that aspect of online sales. And what's interesting about this, too, we had a discussion topic very recently that apparently, I don't know if the European Commission actually had a hand in it, but there was an organization that was pushing to make another change in online distribution, and I can't remember exactly what that was. Do you guys remember? There was like a political discourse involved with a topic that we had discussed. I think it was like...
Was it The Witcher 3? Where CD Projekt Red was like, hey, we... Green Man Gaming...
it might have been the Green Man Gaming thing.
Neurons firing?
No. Okay, well, anyway. if anyone remembers, feel free to bring that up again. But this is probably just a long time coming. And I feel like now this is maybe... Okay, this is maybe a stretch, but this is an indication that the games industry has become mainstream enough for J.C. Juncker to pull out an affidavit stating, yo, this shit ain't gonna fly, as he was quoted and saying in the historic opening lines.
That is seriously like one of the best sounding. Like he sounds like a rap artist.
He really does.
He does. Like J.C. Junk, Eazy-E. It just fits.
J.C. Junk and his funky trunk.
Now he sounds like a funk group, like he's doing Motown stuff now, kind of maybe.
He sounded like an elephant.
I kind of like Jean-Claude Funk.
Jean-Claude Funk?
Jean-Claude's Junk Funk. Oh, that just sounds like sweaty balls. Okay, never mind. Let's not go that route.
Now it's starting to go like porn titles.
That's what it is.
So it's a good thing that this is being pushed, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard it, I was like, well, like in the EU, there's like a lot of different levels of purchasing power, right? Admittedly, like I always forget there's like Schengen countries, and then there's like EU unions, and then there's European countries that are not in the EU. But I was worried that it would be like, well, we're going to make it so, in a country that doesn't have a lot of disposable income, games are going to be expensive. Like they're going to be as expensive as they are in like, Germany or something like that.
Right.
But if it's actually just making it so that, games cost like 13 euros instead of 20 when they should cost 13 euros, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I have no problem with this.
Exactly. Although, I guess there's the issue. I mean, like, it's the butterfly effect of changing economies, I suppose. So it's like, what does the alteration of pricing in a certain country do to the pricing in other countries? And I don't actually know how Steam handles that. I guess, like, the cop-out for them was to just list it at the same number. So, like, the number is constant throughout all price ranges, and then it's just unfortunate that certain countries got boned as a result of that. Although I'm pretty damn sure there are also countries that benefit from that.
Are you saying that the effect is going to be that if they make people charge more for, or less for them, rather, then they're going to compensate and raise prices up across the board?
No, I don't know about that. I think it's going to be like there's just like... There's got to be a domino effect of sorts, right? Like, it's not like... If this were so easy to where they could just list it at the equivalent price across currencies, I feel like they would have just done that. Doesn't that make sense?
So why haven't they?
That's what I'm wondering. So that's why I'm wondering why the European Commission actually has to make a proposal to urge Steam and PlayStation Store and other online distributors to do this. It's got to be a deeper rabbit hole, I'm wondering.
Another thing that I know is that the EU recently changed it so their VAT, which is like, I guess, their sales tax, applies to companies that are smaller than they used to be. So it used to be that like indie developers, I'm probably oversimplifying this, but indie developers, unless they cross like 10 million in sales or something like that, were not subject to VAT. recently they have become subject to VAT if their earnings are above like $100,000. So I believe that takes off, like another 20% or something like that right off the cut. And that's what I've heard is like a justification for, this is why, it's just simpler basically to make it the same across the board.
Yeah, that seems like just the route that they would take. And I can't really blame them for it either. And if I'm correct, publishers do set the price tag across the spectrum. So it's not Steam getting a single price listing and then just making it the same across the board. It's publishers, obviously putting forth that effort. So this is I guess this expands beyond like just making prices between dollars and euros more fair for people buying games on Steam. It's also like, how does this affect publishers' abilities to set prices regionally? So there's a lot to it. And this is a political conversation to a certain extent, which is maybe something that we should steer clear of. But I mean, at face value, it definitely seems like good news. But the digger eye deep.
No, run with it.
Yeah,
okay.
Keep it going.
The dig dug that I didn't do the digging on is confusing. So I actually would love to hear from those that may have an interest in the European Commission in particular, and JC Junk. I'm looking at you, buddy, if you want to give us some insight.
Next week he's coming on.
He is, yeah.
No offense, Max.
Do you think if I sent him an email that was just subject line like JC Junk, we need your funk, he would be on board for something?
No, he'd probably have you killed.
I think that would probably, that's probably like spam filter, like just immediate, block.
You don't put it in the subject, put it in the actual email.
Yeah, you put it in the subject, like that's,
important
think about it.
Documents enclosed.
You get that, you're gonna be like, nope.
Attach it.
That's like amongst Nigerian princes emailing you about the stuff that you could have. Like, I have all this money you've inherited. I need to come to this country, and you're the only way for me to transfer my funds.
You're the only hope.
We need your funk, Luke.
We need JC Junk's funk. I can't get on without it. Oh my goodness, what a world! What a world of a European Commission.
Yeah, most of that stuff you guys talked about, I was like,
Same. I can't pretend to know because I don't. Like, I'm not well educated in.
No, this is what we're here for: is to pretend to know.
I want to know why it freaking costs $100 in Australia to buy video games.
Well,
everything's expensive in Australia.
It's a complicated economic domino effect because the minimum wage in Australia is $135 an hour.
That's true. That is 100% accurate.
But a Big Mac costs $311. So
yeah.
All right.
Big Mac now.
And that's in
that's
euros.
Been cleared up now. Thank you.
You know how many people listening to? Well, I don't know the listener base of this podcast.
It's
not
just
shots
us.
fired.
this is episode 1.
Yeah, this is episode 1.
Yeah, we've never done this before.
But he just did some free advertising because I wanted a Big Mac. Once he said that,
Whoa.
and I'm saying it even more now. Actually, I'm sponsored by McDonald's, and they pay me every time I say it, just like in Idiocracy with Carl's Jr.
Next segment.
I can hear you, man. There's going to be a freaking video ad showing up in Skype in a second.
Next segment is brought to you by Burger King. Have it your way. We want to talk about Don't Starve and the new expansion that's coming around. I am, for one, shocked that another new expansion is coming for Don't Starve.
Don't Starve is now Clay's most, I'm assuming, profitable franchise that they have.
I can't imagine that it wouldn't be.
Don't Starve is Clay's Terraria.
It has to be. I mean, it's called Shipwrecked. It's being co-developed by who?
Shipwrecked. Ooh, that sounds interesting.
That does actually pique my interest quite a bit.
Sounds cool.
That is probably the one thing that I would be the most excited about, would be like the potential for seafaring in Don't Starve. Like, that opens up an entire new world. This is a completely ridiculous comparison, but when I was playing Assassin's Creed 3, I fell in love with like the naval missions and the exploration and just like the feeling of I'm on a boat and this is fucking awesome. Like, that was great. And Don't Starve has so much going on land that the potential for sea battles. I mean, like, imagine a fucking kraken coming out of the water and just destroying your entire camp.
Jesus, man.
Pretty amazing.
Cool. Don't Starve developers Clay Entertainment have teamed up with Cappy, the gang behind Super
I
Brothers.
like Cappy.
Yeah, Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery and Super Time Force for the next expansion. It will be single player only to start, with new characters, biomes, creatures, and seasonal effects. But Clay is known to roll all that over to multiplayer pretty quickly. But right now it'll just be single player, and it's due out in autumn for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
You know,
Is there a title? Because I'm hoping it's Don't Drown.
It's
Shipwrecked.
Shipwrecked. Yeah.
the, the problem I have with Don't Starve is that I'm burned out on survival games, which is not their fault. And also the kind of like Tim Burton-like tone. I was like, I could take it or leave it. Again, not really their fault. I know a lot of... I'm looking at Steam Spy right now. There are 2.8 million copies of Don't Starve owned.
Oh my god,
That's pretty good.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, go ahead. Sorry.
Pardon me.
All right, I thought you were done. I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Mathis, watch your tongue, okay? He was talking.
Cappy has a little bit more of like a tone that resonates with me usually. I haven't played Below, obviously, but stuff like Super Time Force is a little bit zanier, a little bit cuter. I think I could see myself at least giving it a try and seeing if maybe Don't Starve finally grabs me.
Have you? How much have you played it, if at all?
Probably like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
How much do I have in Don't Starve?
Yeah, you want to compare? I know Mathis is going to have more.
The
Guess what?
Steam hour
Northern
comparison
Lion,
show.
24 hours.
Oh, wow.
A full day.
It's up
I
now.
have 2 hours.
Mathis, we got some hours, man.
Yeah, I've got 30
you've
in
got it.
single player and 25 in multiplayer.
Wow.
Damn, dude.
How do you tell the difference? What the?
This is two.
Don't Starve and Don't
it's-
Starve
it's
together,
Don't
right?
Starve together.
Yeah, man.
I think I have none in Don't Starve. like just single player.
I like Don't Starve is great. I mean, I'm preface what I'm going to say with I really like the game. Obviously, I've played it for 60 something hours. My problem with Don't Starve is that each update has made it. This is going to sound really lame, but more of a grind and more of a chore to survive than more entertaining. It was cool when winter was like the hard season. You had to prep for winter. It was going to be a pain, and like you're going to have to go through winter. It's going to be difficult. Then they made summer basically winter. You needed to have endothermic fires to keep you cool, and you needed to have your thermal stone cold. So it was basically just another winter.
That's dumb.
And then they made spring rain all. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it. And then they made spring rain all the time, and when you get rained on, your sanity drops, like it plummets.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it plummets
So
down.
you just start going insane instantly. So the only season right now that's really playable without like losing constantly is autumn.
Autumn, yeah.
And it became way less fun when 3 of the 4 seasons that you play in become basically almost impossible to survive through.
Why is spring bad?
Because it rains all the time, and when it rains on you, you go insane. And when you go
It rains in the
insane,
spring and the summer. Okay. Got
but it rains even more in the spring. So
But
and when
Mathis,
you,
there's ways to counter the
I know.
rain. You're just bad.
yeah, exactly. So
Learn
you
how to
have
play it.
So when you go
something.
insane, monsters show up, and they just like insane monsters kill you, and it's annoying. So you only have one season where you can really prep for all the other ones, and it became too difficult. Where the gameplay, like when we were playing Don't Starve Together, Bear, a lot of our tactics in winter and summer was don't leave camp.
We're huddling together and just
Yeah.
praying that it all goes
Yeah.
away at some
Yeah, like
point.
wait for 12 days and just hope we have enough food to get through. Because if you leave
Right.
the fire, you die.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Unless you have a thermal stone and you've plotted out how many, like where the places are you need to harvest or kill bunnies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's just
It
hold
became too much
hands
of a
by this
chore.
fire and sing Kumbaya.
Let me tell you something
until
too,
night
Mathis.
falls.
Yeah, all right.
They're called survival games for a reason, and surviving
Don't talk
isn't
to me
supposed to be easy.
about motherfucking survival games, all right?
Yeah, I hear you. I played a decent amount of Don't Starve Together. Like I had a series for a while on YouTube, and I might play it again, but apparently maybe not if they've changed everything where it's just pain all the time.
I don't remember like back when the vanilla game is kind of loose, but when it was in its infancy, I don't think it was that tough to survive through winter. I felt like there were opportunities to at least like go around and not feel like imminent death was inevitable.
I like the feeling of like, okay, it's dangerous to go out in the winter, but if I do this, this, and this, I'm fine, and I can get through it. And having one tough season is fine. It's when the majority of the seasons are a pain in the ass that it becomes less fun.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together is that you can now modify it. Be like, I want autumn to last long. I want winter to be short. And you can do that before setting up your worlds, but you still kind of have to go through them either way. It's a pain.
Yeah, you can kind of tweak how you want like the world queued up and stuff, or how to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Populated.
Yeah.
I did that. I definitely tweaked that because I'm not the best at those types of games. okay, but I'm by no means a Don't Starve expert. Especially when I would like stream, I would like tune it down a little bit because I'd be playing a lot with like people that are very new to the game, and you don't want them to jump in at like just complete default.
Yeah, the difficulty jumps up when you have more than one people because now you're splitting all your food resources between all those people.
That's why when people were getting like, people would be like, oh, he's just cranking up the food thing. I'm like, I just cranked it up one notch because we have a bunch of people. One, they're new, and like, you know, it, like you said, it scales up. The difficulty scales up definitely. If you have more mouths to feed, yeah, you're not going to have enough food for everybody if you just have it on the default setting.
Makes me wonder how much developers like Clay prioritize keeping the existing players over trying to make it approachable for new people to pick up the game and get into it. Like comparatively, I could say a game like Darkest Dungeon, with the most recent content patches and updates to the game that's still obviously ongoing, they like for a person that has like over 100 hours in the game, I went back to the beginning of it and I tried playing from scratch, and I found that it was like nigh impossible if I didn't already know a lot of the stuff that I knew about the game. So with Don't Starve, I'm wondering if I tried to go into it with a fresh perspective and just started up a new game with the default settings. I wonder how much more difficult it would be now comparatively, and I wonder if that would be something that would turn me away from it. Whereas
I'm curious.
How's it going?
Do they have a tutorial?
What did you just do there?
I dropped.
Hold on a
knocked
second.
over a bunch of these water bottles.
I'm looking at you right now. You are looking at
It's
That's
such
how
a
I felt
good
as it
one-click
happened.
thing. I love that.
I'm so glad I made that before.
Do they have a tutorial for it, I wonder? I wonder if there's like a tutorial mode now.
I don't think there is. I'm pretty sure the first time I jumped into it, it was just, here you go, figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
go find
Yeah,
some
I think
stuff.
it was just kind of,
What do you think
Figure it out.
development is going to stop on first? Don't Starve or Terraria?
Yeah, that's the question we got to ask. Right?
Oh, wow.
Speaking
Terraria,
of
I'm
flash
sure we know the
surprise
answer.
money.
I'm surprised but not surprised as well, because I would like the last upgrade or whatever, or last DLC or whatever, you know, free patch or what. Was it free? It was free, right?
Yeah,
It was just upgrade.
1.3 was
Well,
the big
that's
one, I
nice
think.
though. Is I'm assuming, is that the same for, or is that DLC? Like Shipwrecked is DLC. That
Shipwrecked
sounds
will
like
be
DLC.
DLC, yeah. And then
Yeah,
Reign of
Terraria
Giants
said-
was before that, and that was DLC as well.
It's all been free DLC for Terraria since the beginning. It's just patches. They just keep adding on to the game, making it longer. They introduced like 800 new items. There's new boss events.
Yeah, apparently the most recent patch was like huge.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
absolutely
started my
huge.
series over from scratch. I actually did 2 series based on this one patch. And it's provided like, I don't know, 20 hours worth of new content for me.
That's pretty cool. I played a little bit of it recently too, but I tend to not like with those games where you can like get completely lost in them because of how big they are.
Yeah.
I tend to spend just a little bit of time with them because I can't spend I can't afford to spend a whole bunch of time with it. Unless it's Rocket League, then
I was gonna say.
Hey, we're talking about Rocket League? I'm back.
Hey, we like
Rocket
Rocket
League.
League.
I'm back in it.
No,
Snap
I mean,
out of that.
Terraria took over my entire focus essentially because I've loved that game since the beginning, and they added a whole new expert mode to it. They redid all the AI for things. They added a ton of new drops. So it's like, it's a whole new game basically just because they decided to release this. It's been in the works this last patch for like a year and a half too.
And that's the thing too, is they could have absolutely just released that as DLC or an expansion or something like that. Because from what I'm hearing from everybody that's been playing it, like it could even been just be called an expansion, like if they wanted to, like much like how the Dying Light thing that's coming out or whatever is supposed to be like the first 2 maps combined. It's bigger than that, and
I think they had
Right.
like a mission since they started the game, and this was sort of like them capping it off and saying, look, this is actually now the proper end to it. Because they'd had these little drips and drabs of contents that were like, there's an event where you would fight the Frost Moon, which was sort of a holiday themed thing, and then they released Duke Fishron, which was a fishing event. But this is kind of like the end to the proper game. So they made a big fuss about it for that reason, and I think they did a really good job with all of that time they put into it. I was just amazed to hear they're actually going to be continuing to support the game even after this patch with a ton more.
Right,
little
and
updates.
the inklings of rumors of mod support too, which I guess has been kind of bouncing around for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much legitimacy to it yet. It was just sort of like there may be mod support, so it's just sort of something that's still up in
like
the
you
air.
could make your own bosses in the game. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm gonna.
I've
guess
got a
it's gonna
suggestion
be
for a boss. Imagine fighting this thing.
bouncing around lasers at
I
you.
want to see that now.
Can you get the train whistle again?
Oh yeah, hold
Yeah,
on.
put him on a stick.
Entertain me like I'm a small child, please. If you don't mind.
Oh God, I'm messing it up.
good.
Look at
Great
that, I
audio
went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Wait, there you go. No. All right, I'm all messed
there
up.
it is.
I'll never be a weatherman. It's fine.
Oh, you know, there's a lot of flags in the world. That's my impression of myself.
All the main ones are covered.
All the important flags.
Yeah.
Covered already.
All the important ones, yeah.
And they've, of course, got Terraria 2 on the way as well. And those guys, I mean, okay, so Terraria
They sound
obviously,
hardworking.
yeah, I mean, they're putting all the eggs in one basket, but that basket is producing a lot more eggs.
I mean, like, they could never work again, and they'd be fine, probably.
Yeah.
Sold, according to Steam Spy, they sold like 7 million units of Terraria. So
Apparently
on
these
Those are
PC
some big
alone.
numbers.
And then there's
it's on consoles, it's on mobile, it's everywhere.
exactly, like, it's everywhere, man.
They didn't let the money get to them. They seem like they're probably just really passionate about it. Especially
Unlike
since
us.
They're releasing all this content for the price of free.
Yeah,
Mm.
could have
Terraria's gone on
Terraria
sale.
2 a year after the original came out, but
So the main developer, Redigit, is the one that's going on to Terraria 2, and I guess they're leaving a small group to support the original. But it's amazing that it's still going this long on, and only now is this shift happening. So I wonder, like, how far out we are from actually seeing Terraria 2, if it maybe is going to be another 3 years, or
Right.
is it going to be next year?
I
don't know.
What do they do for Terraria 2? Do they improve the graphics?
I
The
know.
only thing that I'm aware of is they want to change the scale of the game, so it's not just your one little world.
Yeah,
Now you might be able
approach,
to go
yeah.
past the boundaries and maybe up into space or down below hell.
Ooh,
But
damn.
It's all very theoretical. I don't really know much solid yet.
You know what would be really neat? Different
What's that?
realities.
Yeah.
Different
Terraria 3.
universes. Why are you laughing? That's a good idea.
Terraria Don't Starve crossover.
I was
Can
What
we
if
call
you
that-
open up like portals and tears?
Just call that
like,
dimensional bound.
eat a mushroom
Mathis,
and,
catch!
Like, sit in a lounge chair, get teleported into the subdimensional realm.
Play
Is
Ducky,
this
they
how
got
you prepare to catch?
That's what I do. I'm ready. This is what. This is how I,
it. You're gonna throw a football.
Let's
this
play
is how I
some
played
catch, guys.
This is how I played basketball in high school. It was like, yeah, I'm open.
Oh.
No
you
one
don't
threw
wear
it.
glasses,
Triangle.
but it just hits you
Catch
square
the
in the
ball.
chest, and then the concussive force rattles your glasses off of your head.
Was it
Spawns
like
glasses on your face.
was the technique like you didn't want people to pass to you, so you just like
Right. And I hid in the corner, but
he's not
guarded
ready.
by like,
He's not ready. He's not ready for that.
I'm open.
So
I didn't have
I have, like,
muscles like you, Max.
the most selfish reason to like not feel good about Terraria, which is like I'm so sick of talking about it. So I'm like, oh, these developers have put out like another huge free patch. I'm gonna have to talk about Terraria again. Get tweeted like 100 times, like you should check out Terraria. They added a bunch
Yeah,
of stuff.
a lot of people did that. Yeah, they were tweeting at me too about that kind
Stop
of thing.
working for free. Come out with
Bastards.
Terraria too.
Because then I feel like I probably should. I'm like, all right, it's free. It's I should at least check out what is new with it. And I did. When did the last patch go through? Like the very most
It
recent.
was
Like-
the end of June, June
Yeah.
30th, I believe.
Okay, so it was the one that I was playing then. Yeah,
But
I didn't know if there
they've
was
done,
like another one. Like if
they've
what I
done
was playing was like a soft
6
patch
ones.
leading up to their big one or whatever.
The
Copies.
trouble, though, is you've got to restart your world every time to get the new terrain generation and stuff, which is
Yeah.
a pain in the butt if you
Yeah.
want to use the world you've got already. And they add stuff onto the end, so you've got to start at the scratch and get to the end again.
Yeah. Did they with the whole like hearts or whatever?
Yeah.
In Hell, was that new?
No.
No, that was old.
Wait, unless you mean the Demon Heart that adds the
Yeah,
one
the
extra accessory slot. That's new.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you play in
There-
expert mode.
I've never been like super crazy into it. Like, and like I said, I haven't had the time to get like super crazy into it. I never had any like YouTube series on it. So there's a lot of it that probably was from the existing game that I was like, oh, this is new. Like,
Now
Because it
people say
was
the
new to
same
me.
thing to me. I just forgot stuff in 1.2, and then people making shitty comments like, "This guy's an idiot. He doesn't remember." Whatever.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Copies
Well,
of
that's just-
Terraria just became kind of like currency in my Steam inventory
Yeah.
for a while. I was like, I'll trade you 3 copies of Terraria for one Dying Light or for one Metal Gear Solid 5. It totally worked too. I mean, they're worth their weight in gold.
Yo, you got Metal Gear Solid 5 already?
Yeah, no, I traded 3 copies of Terraria for it. Man.
Damn,
It was a
dog.
great deal.
I'll trade you 4.
Damn,
crazy.
sold.
And it really puts it into perspective. Like, I love Steam Spy, so you can see how many copies have been sold. Terraria sold like triple FTL.
All right, you got to
Wow.
come forward with your Steam Spy sponsorship, man. We've already knocked out
How
long
Max's
is sponsor
McDonald's
me? They're
thing.
just-
I don't know if you guys have ever
FTL
heard of
now?
this Steam Spy website. It's,
great
it's a very
tool.
useful tool. Yeah.
It is sold.
Steamspy.com.
You got me
Terraria
going to
came out in
Steam Spy.
2011. When did FTL come out?
2012.
Okay. So they had a-
Look, FTL is not making up a 5 million
All right,
copy
all right,
deficit
all right.
at this point.
Dota 2 is owned by 54 million people.
Yes,
when
that
did
makes
Dota
sense.
2 come out?
Shocking.
Rebirth is only owned, but it's owned by like 1.02 million. So there's like 7 times the copies of Terraria out there. That's crazy.
What about the vanilla version?
That was over 2 million last I heard.
I'd like to apologize to viewers as I am currently adjusting Ryan's face on the fly.
Yeah, 2.7 roughly million.
Me too. I'm adjusting his face on the fly.
Literally adjusting it on the fly.
Any reason for me to bring that up, I will.
It's good.
Every time.
All right. Terraria and Don't Starve print money. That's what we discovered. The big topic I want to talk about with everybody here. What's the future of esports? How big is it going to get? 5 years down the road, am I going to see highlights from the International 9 with a prize pool of $1.2 billion on the big screen in Times Square? Yes or no?
I don't know if it would be $1 billion.
I want it to be $1 billion.
I don't think it'll be Times Square.
That doesn't scale. That doesn't like
exponentially. It's growing, so it's like 18 mil.
We're at 18 million right now, but I don't know if you
mil.
understand how much $1 billion is.
$1 billion is nothing to Valve, man. $1 billion they find in their
Well, to
back
Valve,
pocket.
nothing. They make that every year, right?
They make that every minute.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
Did
So
you?
the
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go
ahead.
ahead. I insist.
No.
Listen, hey. You go ahead.
Well, if it's Ryan, fuck him.
Pardon me, I wasn't even doing anything. You're going to drag me under the bus.
Oh, that's
here.
you, man.
That's
That was
definitely
you.
you.
Oh, was it? Oh, I see.
Mathis, what are you going to say?
So the thing about Dota 2 that I think they do so right, and that I'm surprised a lot of other esports-focused games haven't done, is the compendium. The compendium, for those who don't know, who are listening, is something you buy around the International. It's $9.99, and you can build a fantasy team. You can like vote for who your favorite players are, and you gain like in-game cosmetics and stuff for all this stuff. It's really big. It's really comprehensive, and it's fun. $2, or at least last I checked, $2.50 of every one of those sold goes to the prize pool for the International 5. So the fact that they, it's $18 million outside of, I think Valve interjects like 1 or 2 million every year by themselves. What they're really making it is like the International is really the fans' Super Bowl, and people have been begging. I know StarCraft for at least forever to do something like that because it drives viewership. You have this personal investment in it. You can do all these cool things by earning like skins in game and stuff by voting for your fantasy teams, and there's like fantasy points that you get. It's very fantasy football like. And I'd love to see other games take that approach because it's fueled the International since Compendium came out, which I think was TI2 was its first introduction. And it's just a genius idea that I think needs to be adapted by other esports like games.
On top of that, too, they employ like a sort of Kickstarter stretch goal aspect to it. Like they have lists.
That started last year.
Yeah, so like they have, if we reach $2.5 million, we'll unlock this for everybody, and it's like skins in the game or a different sort of courier or things like that. It's brilliant, honestly. It's like on par with the level of money printing abilities that Fallout's strategy with Fallout 4 advertisement and releasing in Fallout Shelter has proven to be so effective with. They're doing this. Not only is it generating so much money, but it's all in-house for Valve. This is all Dota 2 stuff that's like so easy for them to just spawn artificial rewards to encourage purchases, and everyone wins too. It's not like anybody's being duped here. They're saying like, if you want to buy this, the portion of your proceeds will go toward the tournament pool. So that's amazing.
Yep, and you get the exclusive courier that comes along with it, and you can show that off when you play a game and all this other stuff, which is, I mean, it's really cool to see, to go back and watch International 1 and like what that looked like compared to what International 5 looks like now, and the huge fucking stadium and the production value.
They have the arena that is modeled after the actual Dota 2 arena.
Yeah.
So it's like the stage that the players are playing on. They have these graphic effects that will show up whenever people cast an ultimate on a certain part of the map. That'll show up on the stage itself. Like, that's so cool.
Did you
that's
see
awesome.
They had Jeremy Lin on yesterday?
Oh my God, Linsanity.
Yep, he was
Brought
on
it to Dota.
he was on the he play. I guess he plays a ton of Dota.
Wow.
and he's been at every international since the first one.
Did they know that about him before they asked?
Yes.
Okay.
They knew that before they brought him on.
I just want to believe that they were like,
Really
I
lucked
bet
out
Jeremy
on that
Lin
one.
knows about Dota too. Let's go have a look.
But yeah, I think that model in some form is ingenious to bring over to other esports games. It's going to make them bigger and bigger because of the fans.
Right.
Yeah. I just took a peek at the stream right now. Like, wow, what a good looking stream.
Right? It's
such
The
a high
analyst
production
desk and
quality,
everything that they
yeah.
have. Like,
Oh,
wow.
it's ridiculous.
That's insane. I'm like, this is like better than ESPN.
I was going to say some of the presentation of the major tournaments is on par, if not better, than a lot of like major world events for high profile sporting things.
Yeah. It's there. There's one guy
Coming up, you want to
there's-
set the bar high?
Yeah.
Either this guy, whoever's on right now, either his ears are weird or he doesn't know how to wear
Oh
it.
yeah, the headset on his right side is
Yeah.
like completely off.
Yeah, he could just have large ears. Who knows?
So
I'm not gonna pick on him for that.
where do I think we'll see esports? I don't know. It's already on ESPN3. I know people flip a shit, like all the I don't want to say real sports watchers, but the people who watch ESPN for like basketball, football flip out that it's on ESPN3. But
What was that one guy from before? Or he was just like, he did it on his show. He's like,
Oh,
I will
Colin-
retire.
Colin
Oh, yeah,
I
Watson?
am forced to cast
Yeah.
one of these games.
Yeah.
I will do it.
Oh, and then he left or he resigned.
Did he actually resign because
like
of that?
2 weeks ago?
Oh, Colin
Good.
Cowherd, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
You're the guy above him saw that as a challenge. He's like, all right, you're going to be casting that next week.
I think like I don't
The
know.
heroes of the dorm.
Yeah.
The nerds are
What is
taking
this?
over.
On
This
my
is
television
ridiculous.
station.
Unbelievable.
I think like
I'm an impression.
it depends on the game. Like it is. I mean, there's like millions of people playing Dota and League of Legends. I feel like it's almost like the birth of like a new sport in a way. Like if somebody is watching football highlights, you don't really need to know what the exact like rules of football to understand what's going on. You're like, okay, I get the idea. You pass the ball into the end zone. You run the ball into the end zone. If you were a layperson and you looked at like League of Legends or Dota highlights, you would be like, I have no idea. Like I can't put this into a framework that spits out meaningful information. But as people who are like, 12 to 20 now are coming up, I feel like you kind of don't need to explain it. And it could become, I don't know if you'll ever see like ESPN show it, but like I could see like the rise of a Korean style like esports channel in America.
Here's a showing of faith in the value of high production quality. The first time I watched a League of Legends tournament on Twitch, I hadn't played League of Legends before and I had no idea how MOBAs even worked. But I flipped on Twitch and it was the front page stream, so I just watched it for a bit. And I think it was one of the semifinals or finals matches, but I got into it having no idea what was going on. So like I think I pieced together the core elements of 5 people against 5 people. There's a base, they're trying to destroy it.
I mean, if you bring it up in simple, it's just like 5v5. You're trying to destroy their main building.
Yeah, more or less. So like
Right,
that.
but like chess is black versus white. It's not that simple. I mean, you could have a situation where you know the goal, but you need to know the high level plays to know what's going on.
So I guess then we just have to discuss what level of knowledge is necessary at an entry level to really get into it.
Let me
From any
check.
point.
Every TI since at least the past 2 has had something called the newbie stream, where the plays that are happening on are being broken down by the casters and explaining why it's important they did what they did.
They have it for this one too.
Some weird stuff was going on. In
Yeah,
the stream,
right. The
by way.
international newcomer stream. Yep. So right here.
I don't know if
and
you had
it's-
the stream open.
No, the stream's like
Very
TI's being
strange.
DDoS right now. So
Oh,
Wait, what?
well, that's fantastic.
No, I wasn't saying that. Like there was just some weird stuff. Like they cut to some like person, like on the concourse or whatever, and they were dancing with these people, and she was trying to twerk. And then she tried to, and then it was just really, real. I mean, most of these large streams, like most of the chat always just says cringe, but this really was some serious cringe stuff. Now it's normal. Now it's fine.
Unsuccessful twerking.
Is that some giant thunder that just crashed?
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Anyway, the newcomer stream is, I think, a smart thing to do, and they have it. They have Purge. We know Purge. Ryan, at least, and I know Purge.
yeah.
The Purge and somebody else on there, and they've had them for the past couple of years, where, again, they just they go through it as it's happening, and they like, this is why this is important. This person did this, which allowed them to do this. And I guess if you have no knowledge and you want to learn, it's available. It's right there, and they can explain why it's why what's happening is happening.
Yeah. Right. I don't know a whole lot about Dota. Like I understand as much as I do, like as you do with any MOBA, where they're like you can kind of understand what's happening, but like the minutia, the details and stuff like that, I'm not going to get it. You know, especially when they all cluster and like and there's a huge fight. Like I don't know.
And colors happen. You're like, people are dead.
Colors and just things are going down, and everyone's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, oh. Like,
turns into like a Dragon Ball Z episode. Everybody going, oh.
Exactly.
That was not a Dragon Ball Z episode. That was me in the bathroom 20 minutes ago.
I was going to say, I don't remember them.
The sound effect might go good with that Northern Lion image you've got.
Please, yes, try that.
Oh, wow. I don't like that very much.
When you know, you keep sucking.
Hold on.
That is quintessential when you nut, but she keeps sucking right there. Like, that's it. That's the face.
Like a shoulder shiver.
There you go.
Look, I can make you like a dancer.
This is a great podcast, even if we just like cut away everything but the segments where Max brings in the Northern Lion.
Does this make you feel weird?
Can you feel that?
Right?
That is surprisingly strange.
I'm so sorry to all of the audio-only listeners who are missing out on just the most amazing thing.
I'm not messing with you. Like when I look at you petting the side of my head, the side of my head got like a weird tingle.
Yeah, it did.
It's like the human brain was not meant to comprehend an image like that.
The way I saved that image, yeah, it's a little bit of voodoo in there.
There was
it's digital voodoo.
I watched the first half of the first episode of Mind Games on Netflix, narrated
Tell me
by
more.
Neil Patrick Harris.
This is the most like tangential.
I know it, but it's great. And they had this experiment they did out in the street where they had people put their right hand behind a curtain, and then they had their left hand out on the table, and then they had a mannequin hand mimicking their right hand on the other side. So what they would do is they would take a feather and like kind of dust their actual hand that was hidden behind the curtain. Then the guy would reach under a table, grab a hammer, and like smash the mannequin hand right in front of their eyes. So it was meant to like give you that same sensation of where you thought you kind of felt a tickle on your head from seeing that. Like you're so comfortable with the idea of your right hand being next to your left hand that they kind of like doubled back and were shocked by it. Anyway, Neil Patrick Harris is a great narrator. I recommend the show.
I'd just be shocked if I was doing this experiment and somebody pulled out a fucking hammer. I'd be like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. He didn't like take it. Just like fucking
it's funny, right? It's the feather. You feel that? Here's a hammer.
Oh, how are you so shocked, man? It's just a mannequin hand.
What's wrong, dude? Stop hitting yourself,
bro. It's just a prank.
Later, they took out a sawed-off shotgun and they ran away. It's like it's not your real hand. Just relax, everybody.
All right.
Basically, what we want is Rocket League internationally.
We really do. That's all we need.
Yeah, I just want.
Where is the $18 million Rocket League tournament?
I would love to like many of us have discussed if they do something like that and eventually it becomes a thing to like be maybe a caster for it or something like that or whatever. But honestly, I just want to see it happen. That's all I want. I really just want to see it happen.
Yeah,
I want to be able to watch it and see like the crazy competitive shit that happens and just like super high level play from like actually like a good spectator mode like we discussed.
Right. Yeah. There was that one there was one match I've seen that was 3v3 of all incredible players, and that just made me so giddy because the ball rarely touches the ground. It's so cool. It's so cool to watch the high level players play. So that's really, like, I totally echo that sentiment. That's all I want out of it.
And that would only get crazier. It's only going to get crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still worried about the day when, like, everybody is amazing at aerials.
Yeah.
And they're on, like, Chronovi status. And I'm just like, shit.
That day is next week.
I was going to say, like, I remember fondly even 5 days ago when aerials were unique. And now it's almost expected to be able
I'm
to
training up my
contact.
aerial game. Like, I'm able to do some aerials and stuff like that. But I am nowhere near that level of being able to just like flip off the wall and spin around just the right way so that it knocks it into the goal. Like I can't do that. If I do it, I pulled it out of my ass. Like
we're gonna see cars only flying and only landing on the boost pad so they can get back in the air.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There's just little trampolines on the ground that they have to bounce off.
I already kind of feel like a badass when I unintentionally become like thrown backwards into the corner perfectly. You're like, yeah, calculated, not really.
Purpose.
Getting back into our fond memories of Halo days, I don't want to say I'm taking credit for the spawn of Rocket League, but I did create a custom game type in Halo 3, in which there was an arena.
Warthogs and balls.
There was a soccer ball, because that was like an editable object in Forge at the time. I put a soccer ball in an arena, and there were just grav lifts everywhere, and everybody had a hammer. So you just floated around and just like bounced off of platforms everywhere, and you were just trying to smash the hammer into your opponent's net. And that's pretty much Rocket League.
I mean, when I did play, speaking of Halo and that, I did, there is a little bit of like a griffball feel to Rocket League initially.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mainly like the ball kind of looks the same a little bit as the bomb. And flashes and stuff like that. But I don't know. It definitely feels also very different from it. But for some reason, when I played it, I was like, this is familiar, because it's just that, I guess it's probably just like the fact that it is like a metal cage and stuff like that. And most griffball matches or maps had that kind of like industrial sort of feel to it.
My whole
How do you guys feel about the new map?
Cage.
I think you guys talked about it a little bit, didn't you? Like initially,
The Coliseum.
the Coliseum, yeah.
The ceilingless Coliseum.
No,
I think it's supposed
that's
to
a
have a
lie,
ceiling,
right?
It's gonna have a
It
ceiling.
has a ceiling,
Like they
yeah,
can't. If they do that, I'm gonna be real upset.
No, there's
Like,
no way
with
it doesn't
ceiling.
have a ceiling.
It better have a ceiling.
It looks awesome. I mean, I can't imagine they're going to be changing up anything about the arena itself. I'm pretty sure it's all just going to be an aesthetic background change. But
I think they just needed to show off the map better and then having the ceiling on it didn't make sense.
what is
Show off.
interesting is something I can't believe I didn't notice this until last night when Ryan and I were playing, and he actually pointed this out, is there is a sun glare on DFH Stadium.
You can turn that off.
You can turn that off. Oh, okay.
I got so many comments when I mentioned like the glare, and they're like, "Fucking idiot! You could turn off the glare." I was like,
Can you turn it off in online play, and then like everyone else has the glare and you don't?
"That'd be great, right?"
Maybe they might.
Is it true?
But
I
there
taught you
are-
guys. I don't know if you. I think most of us were there when I realized you could rotate the camera on the replay.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Lens
Most people
flares.
still don't know that.
All right, so yeah, it's in video. Light shafts.
You're
lens
playing
flares.
Rocket League right now?
Of course
I just
he
turned
is.
it- I just
We
turned-
all
God
are.
damn it.
Yeah,
We're not
light
in the
shafts,
game. We've been
lens
running
flares.
fours.
We got still got like 20 minutes left or something.
Yeah.
So I just turned it all off.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, Coliseum does look good, but as far as the future of esports goes, I believe in the $1 billion tournament. I think it'll happen.
That's never gonna happen.
It's
Well,
not
not in
gonna
our
happen.
lifetime. That's absurd.
Let's get to Ask Roundtable. Everybody's favorite
yeah.
new segment, Ask Roundtable. We've got questions coming in. If you want to send us a question to Ask Roundtable, email roundtableYT@gmail.com. Go through those every single episode. And today's question is from Will.
Hey, Will.
Will has got a two-parter here. He says, first of all, what are your views on games that are pay to win? Like you could play and grind. Oh my god, I just realized this is all completely scawampus in the...
Scawampus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those moments where I was like, "Is this a word that I've never heard of that everybody else knows?" And then you guys made me feel better.
It's totally a thing.
Is that a Utah phrase?
No,
Wampus.
totally not a Utah
Like
thing.
cattywampus.
Wait, you live in Utah?
I did live in Utah. I live in
Oh.
Washington now.
Okay, good. I was gonna feel real bad for you.
I did too. That's why I moved.
There's nothing there.
What are your views on games that are pay to win? Like you could play and grind, or you can spend $19.99 for a Bad Axe base, cough, Clash of Clans, cough. And then part 2. If I want to be a game developer, what should I do and or no? Thanks, Will, for the question. Again, roundtableYT@gmail.com if you'd like to send those in. I will first start with the pay to win question. And I think just the general approach there for folks that don't want to get involved in the debate is it exists and I don't have to acknowledge it. It's just a side effect of what is. Don't give me that super inquisitive.
You can't answer a question with "I don't acknowledge that this thing exists."
I don't acknowledge this question
Shinobi
or the
doesn't
subject
exist
of
as
it.
the number one Rocket League player.
Krokobakovich. Sorry, if you wouldn't mind using his actual name.
Krakenov.
Here's my feeling about games that are pay to win. If it's single player, who cares?
Exactly what I was gonna say.
If it's online multiplayer, like competitive, then I think it's shitty and you shouldn't support those games if you care about having like a balanced competitive landscape. But if you enjoy it, then whatever. Like I don't like something being pay to win doesn't offend me on like a moral level. I'll just be like, well, I don't really want to invest either 100 hours or $20 to get on like a level playing field. So I'll just play one of these other games that doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Hearthstone is kind of a prime candidate for this breakdown.
Yes and no, because you can make a very competitive Hearthstone deck out of commons and get really far. You don't need to invest a ton of money into Hearthstone.
I don't know if I agree with that.
No, there's people who've gone into tournaments and gotten like top 8 placements with a common-only deck.
But don't you feel that given the entire selection of cards in Hearthstone, you would benefit more from building a deck that uses some of the rare and legendary cards?
I'm sorry, I can't keep this shit. I can't keep it a straight face. You'll see why I'm laughing in a bit.
Oh, God.
It's good. It's good, guys. Continue.
Okay.
I just need to let you know why I was laughing for some reason.
Photoshop is being done here.
I know. I'm excited.
I'm going to come back with like an eye patch or something like that.
Whew, I'll mute myself. It's cool.
Right.
I mean, it's like you can go back and forth. Sure, there are cards that can benefit from it, but there are also decks that you can build that are going to be competitive without those cards. Now we'll see how the Grand Tournament expansion affects that, because those cards could change the landscape pretty dramatically. I mean, one of the reasons I think common decks, at least in Hearthstone right now, can work is because with the expansion of goblins and gnomes, it introduced a lot of random elements that even common cards could fuck up a board due to a random draw that you have. I did read an article it was on Polygon recently by, I don't remember who it was, but saying that with the introduction to the Grand Tournament expansion, Hearthstone is becoming more of a money sink, I guess, in that way. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge that I'm not as deep into Hearthstone as, say, somebody else. I'm only using anecdotal evidence that I know, hey, common decks have gotten to the top 8 and stuff. I think one of the top 3 people of one of the most recent Hearthstone tournaments hasn't paid a dime in Hearthstone and just has earned all of his cards by playing the game.
As long as that, okay, so I should have prefaced what I was saying with, I'm not saying Hearthstone is just like the worst kind of pay to play or pay to win game that ever existed, because it's not. It's actually a pretty good model. But oh fuck, I totally lost my train of thought. It's completely gone. Oh damn it. Derailed entirely. Yeah, you go. That's good.
I have a kind of a different view on it in that I'd kind of prefer this old school mentality where, as far as the game goes, it should be like an inclusive economy. Everything you buy in that game, I prefer to have it be in that game at the time, where, you know, the one purchase transaction happens at the beginning, you get what you get out of it, and then you move on. If there's going to be an expansion pack afterward, that's cool. It's just all the little purchases over a while kind of erode at my ability to kind of parse out where the separation happens from sale to post-support to any kind of length of support after that. So the more kind of nugget-sized you can keep your release, the better. Just keep it all together, and I think I'm happy with it.
Yeah. I also was just reminded that what I was going to say is, as long as they provide the means by which to unlock all of the content that exists, quote-unquote, behind a paywall, then I'm probably okay with it.
That's usually kind of the deciding factor for me. Like I haven't played a whole lot of Hearthstone, but I did put money into it just because. I mean, there's also the whole psychology of it. Like, they make it really satisfying to open. It's like CS:GO crate openings. Yeah, same thing. Same thing in Fallout Shelter. You can open those lunch boxes. It has the sound effects and, you know, all the nice graphics. It's
like
and
slot
stuff.
Machines, man.
No, it's
absolutely
general, that same
gambling.
mentality.
They're taking advantage of that to psychologically get you to buy more things, and I see through it.
Yeah.
Well, I think in a way, it makes the game better. Like, when I think back to playing Hearthstone, like, I put probably like $100 into the game because I bought like 2 of the 50 packs things and then opened them.
I think mine was
on
something like
streams.
that. Yeah, I think I bought 2 of the big packs.
Those are like the moments where I look back and I'm like, oh, what's going to be in this one? And I click on it,
and you get that gold.
Exactly.
Well, isn't that kind of bad though? If the best memory you have of the game is the time when you got a free thing.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
I mean,
it's
if I enjoyed it and I had fun, like, does it really matter? Like,
a lot of the best experiences in my life cost money.
We might have been getting played, but
yeah, I just did a video on opening Magic cards, and that was super fun.
I'm just saying that I prefer the happy memories to be of the game, not of an external like stimulation that they give you outside of the game. You know,
it's part of the game though. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like I think I have more fun opening Hearthstone packs than I do actually playing Hearthstone.
Fuck the game! Just give me
that sounds like a terrible thing then.
No, it needs like that moment. Like, it needs to be like long, quiet periods of good gameplay, which is what Hearthstone is, punctuated by like 10 seconds of like intense emotional investment, followed by release.
Yeah,
That is sex.
Exactly. It's like Hearthstone is like it's like saying I enjoy the orgasm more than the intercourse.
That's what it is.
Except in sex, you can guarantee you're going to have an orgasm. You might not have one.
Why is
in
this
Hearthstone.
happening?
No. Wait. You have an orgasm every time?
I personally tend to, yeah.
That's your secret.
That's not normal to. I thought it was normal to just not have an
You
orgasm
can
all
edge
the
if
time.
you want, if you'd prefer to go that route.
I mean, the most
Well, I mean,
common
I
results
always do.
are either
She
orgasm or
doesn't.
crying.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
Like I can't fulfill a woman.
You just can't guarantee
in that
an
way.
orgasm in Hearthstone, is what I'm saying.
If you do your
99 cents,
dailies, you can orgasm like once every 3 days.
So you
I got
can
a
pay to
face
have an
for this
orgasm.
whole.
is awesome.
I got a reaction face for this whole discussion. Here it is.
No.
Oh,
That's fantastic.
I gotta
super.
watch myself.
There's a keeper right there.
Did you have your button on Prince's screen like as he was doing that?
I didn't have it. I mean, it's just one button. So I saw him hold that. I saw him pull that face once, and I'm like, oh god, please do it again.
You had like a 1 second reaction time.
And then
when
I
you're on
hit.
it.
Yeah, I hit it.
That's good.
Anyway, Will, I hope that answers your first question. Is that Hearthstone is like sex, and the orgasm is the best part.
Yeah.
You pay for it.
Yeah.
And you don't always orgasm.
Yeah.
If you like it, what does it matter? I guess is what I'm getting at. Like,
Yeah.
As
be
long as
aware
it's
of-
not hurting anyone, you can Hearthstone as much as you want.
I was just gonna say, if you like heroin, who are you hurting really? Like,
I think
what
you have
does
to
it
be
matter?
aware of like your finances, right? Like if you are on a super fixed income and $200 a month on Hearthstone is going to be like an enormous problem, you got to limit yourself.
You gotta budget
obviously.
it, man.
Yeah, you do have to
Yeah.
be smart about it. And you know there are some games that do take advantage of player psychology, and you know people donate or not donate. I got into the Twitch side of things there for a second there, but people will buy stuff that they can't afford because they're somewhat emotionally manipulated into it. But like,
What
don't do
What
it.
would you say if there was a $60 all-inclusive Hearthstone pack where there were no bonuses like that? You just get all the cards.
It
Would you buy
wouldn't.
that?
It doesn't make sense in Hearthstone.
So you could have paid $100 to get the same package, or you could pay $60.
I mean, you're
guarantee it.
creating a situation in which there's only one right answer. I would pay
Yeah.
60.
You know what? The face is coming back. That's his reaction to you when what you're saying right now.
Like it's one of those things. Like it just doesn't fit within the model of the game that Hearthstone has created to release like a $60 all-inclusive pack.
Well, no, I know, but that's what we're talking about, is whether that model should exist or not, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
kind
that's
of my
the
take on
model
it.
that like 99% of games, well, not 99, but like 90% of games would release with right now. Still, games like Hearthstone, I still think are in the minority.
Yeah, they are. Unless you get on mobile and stuff, but
I installed it on my phone. I still haven't played a single game on my phone.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I know. I was like, oh yeah, I have the iPhone 6 Plus too. It's got a big screen. It should be okay. And then I just
Yeah.
have never opened it.
but you have
Every time I've like, I should probably play it. And then I'm like, nah, Max, don't play it. Don't do it.
The mobile version is pretty good, actually. I played a couple
problem
games
is-
on it.
People just play too much of it. Like people are so
They're too
good at it.
Yeah, they're too fucking
Yeah.
good.
You got to become obsessed with it if you want to. Like, I can't justify putting 8 hours into a game if I'm going to lose like 80% of my games.
I could just add that. I could invest that into Rocket League and know
Exactly.
that I'm going to win probably a decent amount of the matches.
I'm already like on the good part of that curve.
I'm kind of falling behind that curve, man. I'm
Yeah,
down
get
into
trained
the
up. Go to
lose
camp.
more than
Get
I win
trained up.
now. I know. I got to go training. Part 2 of the question. If I want to become a game developer, what do I need to do? Now, first of all,
None of us are game developers.
none of
develop
us
games.
have any idea.
that's what you have to do.
Straight up. So everything we're saying is conjecture and speculation because we've not become game developers, but we know a lot of them.
Mhm.
That much is true. So actually, we don't really have the capability of answering this question now that I think about it a lot more.
All I could tell you is how to, if whatever game you decide to develop and stuff like that, and give you like tips on how to make it accessible to streamers and
Yep.
promote it. And I would say that you're probably going to be, if you're developing games on your own, you're going to be an indie dev, and your main source of marketing and stuff like that is going to be people like us, because that's much easier and much more effective than trying to spend a marketing budget. And yeah, a lot of times it's free. But I don't know. Northern Line, I mean, you did a whole panel on this, so you should probably rattle off just like what's good for. Yeah, you did. Don't shake your head. It was a great panel.
You did it twice.
Finer
You're a politician.
of the future. Give your games to the top 10 trending Viners. And just see what happens.
Tap
true.
that market.
Yo, Instagram, you get 250% more of that, man.
Yeah?
That exposure time.
What does that mean?
6 to 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's 15
Wow.
seconds.
I didn't know that.
15 seconds.
That's not really
I did some
Insta, is it?
quick math in my head there.
It's too long. It's too long.
Yeah, it's
I loses my attention.
If you got to take 15 seconds to say something, you got to go back to the editing room. Is what
Might as
I
well write a fucking novel.
That's why all
Yeah.
my YouTube videos are 4 seconds long.
I will
The
say
Cut out
only
all
thing
the
to
dead air
fear is
between
fear
words.
itself. 5 seconds.
it is
John
weird
F. Kennedy.
though when you watch those vines that like so much happens in them, and you're like, "There's no way that was 6 seconds," and then you count it out, and you're like, "God damn it!" Every time,
There's like 11 cuts.
like I swear to God, they enabled their account to have like 9 seconds.
I watched a Vine synopsis of The Godfather the other day. It was very thorough. That's
I
not
saw an
true.
emoji synopsis of The Godfather. It was
That
very
sounds pretty good, actually.
emoji for everything.
What about
these days.
advertisements with an emoji synopsises? Synopsi.
It's the new market.
Do we know how old the person asking the question is?
I do not.
True.
Okay. Let's assume they're
College.
around the age where they could go to college.
Hopefully they're of the age where we can make a joke about sex and orgasms and it's totally appropriate.
Well,
Doesn't
I
matter,
mean,
it's already there.
they're
That's not beyond our. That's beyond our control. Can't-
they're pledging to us on Patreon, so
We
hopefully
put E for
hopefully,
explicit on iTunes. We're good.
That's true.
My advice would be to like just start. Like if you're like, I want to be a game developer, you should fuck around with some like game dev tools. Like I farted around with Construct 2 for like 60 or 70 hours to figure out, what I liked about it. And I was like, I don't really like art or design or sound or anything like that, but I like programming. So then after like doing that kind of like spec work, I was like, now I'm going to learn programming, and then I'm following that track right now. So I mean, you should probably take some time, especially if it's like summer vacation for you. Spend like an hour or two a day in something like Construct 2 or Game Maker, and figure out what you like. Like whether there's a lot of people who would be better as like indie developers, like solo devs who do everything themselves and like get contract work for art if they don't like that or something like that. And there's a lot of people who are like, I really like animation. So, at that point you should follow like an animation track, obviously, because you're not going to probably make your own game as an animator. You'd maybe be better suited as part of a team at a larger company.
The best
What's
part...
great-
Sorry, go ahead.
There's basically assets available for anything that you're not interested in doing now. There's tracks for all of that. If you need some music, if you need some artwork, if you need the animation, as long as you don't mind having some uniform stuff that other people have, you can pretty much get anything for a few bucks now.
Yeah, that's true.
It kind of devalues the work a little bit, but still, you can put together a game that has your vision behind it. You just might have some variables that you might need to adjust later. So focus on what you like and then put the pieces together. At least you could say you started on something, work off it from there, and keep going up.
The best part about the future that we live in is that there are so many tools out there for people that want to do those sorts of things. I mean, like, even as recently as 10 or 15 years ago, you couldn't just go online and just find all of these free resources or just, like, very cheap resources to teach you how to do stuff. Like, if you want to be an artist, you can just straight up start doing art or making things. If you want to learn how to code, you can learn how to code online. If you want to learn how to design assets, there's many resources available to do that. If you want to start YouTubing, just do it. Just fucking do it.
OBS is free.
Yeah,
We're very lucky to like live in a time where even when I was going to college, whatever, 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was, when I wanted to learn programming because I was going for game design, before I even started it, I fucking went on YouTube and I was like C++ introductory like programming stuff, and I had a book and I had YouTube and I was teaching myself programming at home before I even went to college. And now it's even better. I mean, one of our colleagues, Quill18, he has a whole separate channel just to teach you how to program and use Unity from scratch all the way up to like a finalized game.
Yeah.
You can just find that stuff. So if you are in high school, take the initiative now and, like Ryan said, spend an hour, maybe 2 hours a day, and just start learning and figure out what you like.
Mm-hmm. And that will set you like leagues ahead of people who will like join you in courses. Maybe if you pursue a college education on the matter, you will already be like in a great position. So
Yeah.
that's as
Also,
much as we know.
Don't feel bad if you abandon 100 things on the way there.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to make a ton of little doodles that don't turn out to be anything. You're just going to be happy you had those experiences later when you start to put together all the pieces. It's just true of pretty much any field, I think.
And then 7 years down the road, you can give people cryptic
Right.
hints, and then they'll eventually find those videos online and be jacked in high school.
The trick to game development is just having like one really good idea for a game.
And
Preferably,
following
it would
through
be
it for
like a
20
huge
years.
game plus another huge game, just layered over top of it.
Survival sandbox game, preferably.
Like I'm thinking like survival sandbox with the existing NFL roster, and then you just make it. And then whenever you have a question, you're like, oh, how do I implement Marshall Faulk? You go, Google Marshall Faulk in my game, and then
Take a time machine back to the
You just
2003
copy
St. Louis
paste the
Rams,
code.
and then just
Somebody
figure
else
that out.
already wrote it.
yeah, exactly. Most
thinking-
games are just copy pasted code from Stack Overflow. So
I'm thinking of making I might learn some code just to make a game where it asks you questions, and if you're true or false, it gives if you get it right, it gives you this face, and if you get it wrong, you get that one.
Oh,
when I was
You want
learning
to try
how
again?
It's got so many uses.
excuse me.
It's amazing.
When I was learning how to make a UI, I made a quiz, which was like, which Friends character are you? And then it was like, it was which
I made a
Seinfeld character
Facebook
are
quiz.
you? And then it was like, are you a man or a woman? If you click woman, it was just like, you're Elaine. And then it would be like, and then it'd be like, which Seinfeld character is your favorite? And then whatever one you clicked, it would be like, you're George. You seem to resonate with George.
That's really good.
That's going nowhere.
Thank
Going
you, Will.
Straight to clickhole.
Thank you, Will, for the question. Again, that's the wrong one. RoundtableYT@gmail.com. If you guys have questions, go ahead and send those in there. We will get to them. And now it's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's Next Weird Game.
Oh, no.
What's happening?
So, Max,
You pretty much got it.
that was really good. Every show, we have Nick's Weird Games. Oh, fuck. I keep using the wrong things. Damn it. That's not it either. There we go. Okay, every single roundtable thing I have in OBS. Every show we do Nick's Weird Games, which is a segment there where Nick goes and grabs a weird game from his vast collection of weird games, brings it back and gives us hints as to what it is, and then we try to guess which game it is.
And Ryan makes up a theme song.
Yeah,
every single
so
time.
you now have the distinct honor of choosing either an artist or a genre or just a theme of music, and you will hear the soothing sounds of Northern Lion, providing an impromptu Nick's Weird Games theme song based on that suggestion. So Nick's going to go get that Nick Weird game.
What type
I
of,
don't
like,
know
what
the
game?
genre.
What sort of game?
Oh, it could be
Oh, no.
anything.
yeah. I'm
Like
gonna
a
go
video
with some
game
completely
or-
A video
random.
game.
Yeah,
It is a
video
video
game.
game.
Okay, I'm like board game, video game, card games.
No, video
video
game,
game.
yep.
But you have to give Ryan something to sing while I'm gone. That's most of the segment.
I see.
I'm really glad I went along with this the
What
first time.
do I have to
Give him a
again?
genre of music or an
Or an
artist
artist.
for him to imitate, and he'll just.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Fun.
give myself weird lips if I can.
Oh, wow, you gave yourself
Do
some
that.
weird color, yeah.
You look like a split pea for a second there.
There you go.
Maybe you give him a
Oh.
color and then he can like,
God.
Oh, that
God.
is creepy.
That's great. Okay, I'm gonna go smooth jazz with this. I want smooth jazz.
Daisy
Smooth
wants
jazz.
this bottle.
Smooth jazz. Ew. I was thinking more. Would you fuck me? I want to hear smooth jazz, kind of. Maybe with a little bit of a Barry White like talk down in the middle of there. So if you can make
And
that
so I
happen.
need like some horns coming in over the top of the. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what time it is. But
Mhm.
this is not the intro to Rolling. Nick's coming back with a weird game, something like that. You know. I'm gonna lay down with your Nick game. Gonna show you how to use your controller. I'm gonna probably do something that is gonna make you feel like you're older. Doesn't really make any sense.
Oh.
No, it makes a lot of
That
sense. These are
gets
usually older
suggestive.
games.
I feel I'm a little uncomfortable at how much you seem to like doing that with that filter.
Those lips are
Yeah.
delicious, man.
The
Seriously,
lipstick
looks
is
like
on.
it's there. You know,
That is
our reaction right there.
really strange.
That is
All
really
right,
good.
I've got a game for you guys if you're already here.
Yes, sir.
Stop licking your
You
lips.
definitely got to stop doing that first.
Or you're just going to steal the show. It's going to be a split pea soup game.
What's
All right.
awesome about that is when you change that color scheme, it actually makes it look like the DX Racer chair is an extension of your ear.
Yeah,
So you just have these massive
Yeah, like
elf
an elf
ears.
ear.
Elf
Yeah.
Gear is coming out. It's pretty cool.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so today's game is an original Xbox game, not to be confused with Xbox
There we go.
One.
Now it's in my fucking territory, man. I'm ready.
Halo.
NFL
It's also
okay.
one of the most likely ones that you've probably heard of, so I feel like you have a decent shot today.
Okay.
Panzer
Right,
Dragoon.
this game is developed and published by Namco.
Okay.
Okay. In EU, it was published by Electronic Arts. So keep that in
Phantom
mind.
Break.
No.
Oh.
It is a
He hesitated for a second.
yeah, that would have been great.
first-person action adventure Okay.
So we can't like
Yeah,
are the
don't-
rules? We can't
Yeah,
Google
no,
anything.
you got to be
I
honest with
can't
yourself
fan
here.
for-
No, you're going to want to wait a little bit here because I'm going to start reading you some excerpts from the back, and
Oh,
we'll see
God.
if this helps out a little bit.
A
So it's
first-person action adventure.
a
From Namco, yeah.
compelling mystery science fiction storyline will turn players upside down. This next one will be the push over the cliff. I feel like this is going to be the one that gives it to you.
Okay.
Unlock new punching and kicking combinations. No,
Mako
didn't do it.
X.
Legend
No.
of Legaia.
I like where your head's at, though. I actually know what that is.
Oh.
A revolutionary combination of hand-to-hand combat and weapons-based fighting.
Not condemned.
Oh.
Not condemned, but again, I like where your head's at. Fight a legion of superhuman soldiers. Okay?
Oh, man.
The subconscious is a state in which reality is just a visitor.
Oh, fucking every time.
I just liked reading that, to be honest. Armed soldiers wait for you to arise from a coma. All seems over before you've even started. Alas, hope is a waking dream. You're Derek Cole. You're about to embark on a journey that will test your body, wrench your soul, and twist your mind.
I don't know.
Jesus
the word
Christ,
title.
I have no idea.
Is the word
Combines-
nether involved in it?
No.
Oh.
Combines the power of an explosive arsenal of weapons with stunning hand-to-hand combat, all within a unique first-person game. Detailed, immersive 3D graphics bring life
Typing
to
of
a
the
world
Dead.
of intrigue.
There you go. Done.
John Woo's Stranglehold.
No. All right, I think we've pretty much run ashore on this one. I don't see too much else that I can give you.
I don't know a whole lot of I'm not going to be able to guess a whole lot of Namco games for me.
Yeah.
It is an Xbox exclusive, if that helps.
Mm.
And it is rated M for mature.
Is it Baden Katos?
No, that's like a card-based game on the
I
GameCube,
don't
if I
fucking
remember correctly.
No, I have no fun.
Yeah,
All right.
drawing a blank.
You concede?
I do.
Oh,
I don't
Today's
think I'm going
game-
to get it.
Is called Breakdown.
Dude, I had the
Breakdown,
picture of that in
breakdown.
my head, but I never played the game, and I didn't know what the name of it was.
I've
But I remember the
never-
Red Fist.
Ever
Yeah,
heard
the Red
of that
Fist
game?
is what it's all about.
Yeah,
The
get
red-
used to it.
Okay,
Never heard
What's
of
the
that game.
score? I think you've gotten 1 point so far,
One,
right?
yeah.
And I've got the
Gotten
rest
one.
of them.
Rule
Yeah.
of Rose, and that was the only one.
How
So
often
we're
do
like-
you guys actually guess the game?
We
Once.
guessed one.
Once ever.
Out of
Yeah.
like the past
And this is the
11.
13th or 14th episode
Yeah.
of the podcast. We started like 3 episodes
Well, we
in,
started the format of us trying to guess what the game is like 4
Right,
or
that
5
was later.
episodes ago. So
Okay.
I think your score is like 5-1 thus far.
How many songs has he sang then?
Oh man,
Plenty.
too many.
We're just waiting for the supercut. It's going to be
Have
amazing.
have you covered a lot of different genre?
Sadly,
Yeah.
some reggae, Bob Dylan.
I highly recommend
Nice.
going back and checking
Metal,
it out, man. It's
hard
a, it's a
metal.
pretty amazing display.
There's some amazing remixes.
I want to hear the
Artist
Bob
on.
Dylan one. That'd
Was
be
there a
good.
Michael Jackson one, or did that fail to
I
happen?
don't know if we can push him into that realm, man.
I can't sing. Dude, this is my range right here.
You went a little bit lower too. You went a little lower for the
Yeah, the Barry White came out
talk
a
down.
little.
Right here.
Mhm.
I don't know if Barry White ever did this when he was singing. Like, I don't know
could
if he
have.
did that sort of like kissy face.
Mm.
I
Trying to suck on
really
a bottle.
like. I can't get my webcam back to what it's supposed to be, but
You fuck-
I really like the kissy face one. You'll do it again. It's
Oh,
like
don't
this,
do it again.
and then you ready?
Oh God,
Well, that's not it.
Ah,
that was
that's
weird.
not it.
Whoa.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, that
no.
definitely makes
God,
you
you're
look
on
like you have
fire right now.
giant elf
Elson,
ears.
catch up.
Oh my
Break
god.
down.
Break down.
Oh,
Like the
God.
annoying orange.
Yeah, you look a
little
little bit
bit.
annoying orange there.
Well, all the
Now you look like
same.
You look like a webcam on, I don't know, the dark web or something. I don't fucking know.
Dark web. There you go.
All the same, thank you guys for watching this or / listening to this episode of the Roundtable Podcast. If you only listen to this episode of the Roundtable Podcast, this is probably one worth viewing. So
Definitely.
go
you
for
need the
that.
kissy faces. You need these.
There's been a lot of those.
Next, we appreciate you coming on. for
Thank
this
you,
cluster
Gassy
talk.
Mexican, for joining
Huh?
us
Thank
as
you for
Yeah,
coming
no,
well.
it was fun.
Go subscribe. Tex-Mex is on iTunes.
Yeah, it's on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can check it out. If you're lazy and you just need a portal to find it, just look Tex-Mex Morning at Twitter, or just Tex-Mex. It might be on Google.
We'll have all
Who
the
knows?
links
We got
down.
this.
If you're watching a video,
Yeah.
we'll have the links down in the description as well for all that, as well as Max's channels, the many of them. And we want to thank this episode's patrons. If you want to go to patreon.com/roundtable, this is where You guys can support on a monthly basis. Thank you very much to Max Pillin, Christopher Flagg, Garrett Stewart, Hired Help, Jeff Rush, Jonathan Graham, Julian Abelsgard, Kevin Birkland, Caspian Crawdad, Matt, David Bradley, damn it. Air Force Balls, Alexander Spillman, General Crunk, Casey, Johannes Goldon, Zur, Kevin, IGN, Javika, Walker, Rumble Muffin, Ignacio 0891, Brizzlebrip, Justin, Logan Ray, Smurfette, Matthew Monahan, Connor Littlewood, and Positron for your contributions to the Roundtable Podcast. Oh, and EP Diablo as well.
Max,
thank you very much.
Congratulations. It was a surprise interview for taking my place after I get fired.
Finally did
Yeah, I'm just having fun like interacting with the
Fake
little,
Ryan.
fake Ryans that I have.
Keep those
Gleb,
friends.
you can do another show just with me now.
I could, yeah.
I don't even have to be there.
Like, what do you think about that, Ryan? Well, let me tell you something. That's how you sound, by the way. Just like that.
I like
The
it.
capital of Syria is Damascus.
I feel like no. How do you do? Like, you have a certain way of speaking, I guess. You have a certain way of speaking. It's very political, very calculated, I would say.
Dignified.
Kind of like a sociopath.
Kind of like a sociopath.
Right. So,
It's very offensive to call someone a sociopath if they're not a sociopath.
Well,
so
I mean,
one or the other.
Sociopath would say.
Next stream will be the 11th, twitch.tv/Roundtable Podcast. Follow at Roundtable PC on Twitter and subscribe on iTunes. Rate it 5 stars because that's a fun thing to do. And we'll be back with the next episode of the podcast on the 21st of August.
Wow.
Is that not nuts? Because I think it's kind of nuts.
It's the obligatory part of the podcast where we go, whoa,
Whoa, time has
I know, right?
progressed.
2 weeks from now.
I'll be ready for almost PAX Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
PAX will be
shit,
there.
dude. That'll be the pre-PAX episode. And then we'll have the post-PAX episode. That's the word. Thank you very much for watching / listening. See you next time.
Hey, everybody.
Bye.